Hello everyone and welcome back to another day of Gloomhaven. I've actually been on stream for about 5 minutes already, but I was just finishing my lunch, so I just started the recording now. Anyway, yeah, we've already done our city and road events. Our city event saw us unlock another scenario, which is actually a useful scenario because it's a boss one. And our road event had us get 3 gold each, which is pretty sweet. You know, getting that gold value. I mean, a road event which gives you something positive, you're always going to be happy with that. All right, so just having a sip of water there. Scenario 27. Like I said, one of, I believe, my 2 favorite scenarios in the game. We are back up to +3 difficulty here because while this can be a challenging scenario, I think it's a very fun one. And honestly, if I have to repeat it, I don't really mind. Plus, there's very little setup, so it's not too difficult. Okay, so that being said, let's look into what cards we're going to bring. This is an interesting scenario because it's a defense scenario, which is obviously one of the things that makes it very fun. There will be monsters spawning around the outside of the room. We just have to defend Hale, who's in the center. So if Hale ever dies, we lose. Otherwise, if she's alive at the end of 10 rounds, we win. Okay, so this changes a little bit the things we want. Aid from the Ether is almost certainly something we do want. So AoE like Fire Orbs is fine here, but it's not excellent because by the time that there get to be that many enemies, we're typically going to be in like tanking phase rather than killing phase. It's not necessarily 100% true, but kind of. But basically the point is that the summon is just definitely going to be a more effective loss than, for example, something like Fire Orbs. It doesn't mean we can't bring Fire Orbs, but it definitely means we want to bring the summon. And the other question is whether we should try to bring Frost Armor as well to have better initiative to be able to use Elemental Aid's bottom more effectively, because Shield here can be quite useful since we're standing around and defending. So let's see. We definitely want aid from the Etherin, and Frost Armor is more of a maybe. So what are we cutting? We do want Elemental Aid primarily for the bottom here. The top's not going to do anything for us, but the bottom can be reasonably valuable, allowing us to shield Hail, or everyone, I guess, theoretically actually is pretty decent with the wind that they can create. I mean, that the Brute can create, or we can create with a Mana Potion. So I think it really comes down to whether we want to cut Flame Strike or Fire Orbs. I guess, yeah, looks like Frost Armor is almost certainly not making it in then. There's just such a small deck, it's too hard to find things to cut. Hmm. It's a tough call, actually. I guess I'll cut Flame Strike. It's just a slightly weaker card than Fire Orbs. Fire Orbs can still be decent. It's tough. It's not so guaranteed to be good here, but it can be. It can help you to try to keep up when it starts to turn badly. It doesn't guarantee that it will, but it might. I think we'll try Fire Orbs. I'm not sure that that's right. I'm sure it's one of those two. There is an argument to try to potentially consider cutting like the whole Cold Fire package, just because for the first half of the scenario at least, monsters won't be clumped up next to each other really at all, which does make Cold Fire less tempting. But that being said, still just setting up an attack 3 stun, even on one target, especially with how difficult or excuse me, how powerful the enemies are in this scenario because we're fighting a bunch of demons. It's still not bad. All right. I actually got to see. So, what is the situation? Are they elites or not? Wind, Sun, and Flame are elite for 3 characters, huh? Oh yeah. Wait, what? God, that's so Isaac. All right. I mean, like, yeah, these are the 3 worst ones to have be elite for sure. Especially the wind. Like including that, it's really I don't know, not a fan. I've actually never done the scenario on 3 person before, so we'll see. But having elite wind demons is it's just something I mean, outside of 4 player is something I'm really not a fan of. They're just so swingy. All right. Anyway, we're good there. So the Cragheart, what does he want? Well, we definitely want Earth and Claw, though. That's 100%. And then maybe Sentient Growth and Avalanche. Sentient Growth, similarly, is not great because the enemies aren't going to be clumped up, but we can even just use the bottom to get some free healing on our allies in Hail, potentially. And Avalanche, creating obstacles on this scenario is very good, although the most annoying enemies are going to be the elites, which are going to be all flying, but it still can block off a third of the enemies. Hmm. Yeah, I think we do want Avalanche. I think that's valuable enough. I guess I'm not sure about Sentient Growth. So what can we cut? Well, are we going to have time to set up something like backup ammo? That's a good question. So the first round is just a setup round, is the interesting thing, because the demons spawn at the end of the rounds. So the at first there's just gonna be a night demon spawns in the bottom right, so we can't attack anything the first turn. So it's not bad to have a setup. The weird thing about setting up is if we set up backup ammo when there's just one enemy, if we attack the next turn, I mean, we set up backup ammo when there's nothing, and the next turn there's just one enemy, we make a ranged attack. It's pretty bad for us because we waste a charge, but I guess it's probably still worth having. I mean, there's no way we should not bring Curse NATO at this point. If it wasn't enhanced, we would definitely not bring it, but I guess Crater is actually quite bad here. Push does nothing. It's possible that the multi-target heal from Nature's Lift isn't really what we want. Heal can be decent at some point, though. But yeah, I mean, it's unrealistic that we can spend that much time healing. There is a chance later on, like I said, when you're just trying to absorb the last couple hits in order to win, like the 8th, ninth, and 10th rounds. Um, Healing can be worth doing, but I'm not sure. We still got one other top heal anyway. It's tough for sure because if we can also be like the one to tank the disarm from the wind demon and then use healing, which is nice. We can also use rock slide as a top even when we're disarmed, so we've still got other options. I think this is the best way to do it. All right. And over on the Brute, we've got Spirit Dagger, Eye for an Eye, and Shield Bash. So Shield Bash I'm not actually bringing, but I just wanted to show this. So Shield Bash, if you're playing this on a lower difficulty level, or at a lower level, I think that Shield Bash is actually quite decent on this scenario for the same reasons that you spend a lot of time standing around here and you need to absorb hits for hail, so the shield is quite good. You don't need to move. That being said, playing on with enemy level 6, one shield self is just not significant anymore. Both of these are pretty tempting, though. Again, we don't need to move much, so the bottom heal can be useful. And the ranged attack on top is also quite useful since we're going to be creating a lot of obstacles. This is pretty useless. We're not pushing anything. Leaping Cleave, top here isn't going to be very good, but the bottom to set up a skewer is fine. Yeah. We could cut this entire package, but I don't think, I don't really want, Shield Bash more than one of these anyway, and if we have one, we really need to have both at this point. The other option would be just to consider cutting Balance Measure, but it can still be an attack, attack 6 because of our boots, and our boots aren't doing much else here, so I'm not sure that's really the direction we want to go either. Disarm is very, very good and could be quite essential against the Wind Demon. It could just be to cut one of these. Like I said, we kind of want to cut both, but I don't want to bring Warding Strength back. I do want both of these cards. Or I could just cut neither of them and just bring Eye for an Eye and not bring Spare Dagger. At the same time, having one more range attack is going to be quite useful. Since, like I said, at some point we're just going to be sitting around in the center behind a rock wall. I think I want both of these. I think there's no way I don't. We've got 2 minor potions. Oops, we could just rely on those to create the wind for us and get rid of Leaping Cleave. Or we could use the wind to set up Elemental Aid from Leaping Cleave and then just get rid of Skewer. Maybe that's even a better idea. It's tough. We definitely want Trample because there are 2 enemy types that have 2 shield, 3 enemy types that have 2 shield or higher. So Trample is just an attack 5, which is obviously good enough still. Bottom range attack is quite good. We don't need a lot of movement, but the execute is good at the end of the scenario, and having 1 move 4 if we're going to keep balance measure makes sense. And this is more often going to be used for a top range attack. Oh, man, it's not easy. I'm sure we want Eye for an Eye just because we want the healing so badly here. It's really valuable. We're standing in the center, but I guess that, again, that fits with the range attack. All right, I'm cutting one of these. Let's just cut Skewer, I guess. I'm not sure how good it's going to be. Kind of feels weird to cut Skewer because it's one of our better cards, but no, we're just experimenting here a little bit, I guess we could say. Okay, so first round is the setup round. Which means the Brute has nothing to do. Spellweaver will make the summon. Has nothing to do on top. Should we bring Crackling Air to be able to front load 8 damage off of a Leaping Cleave? Should we do that instead of Fire Orbs? It's just because we really have nothing to play that first turn while we wait for an enemy. So is that actually worth it? It's not a very good card, but I mean, it basically lets us do 8 damage on the turn where we're not doing anything, which is quite valuable. That's actually almost certainly more valuable than Fire Orbs, to be honest. The better question is if we should instead cut something like Flashing Burst, just to get rid of one of our non-loss attacks in such a short scenario. But at the same time, for the first 2 turns, there will only be 1 enemy each time, so we don't really need AoE, and we do need multiple single target. No, I think we can actually... We'll try to cut Fire Orbs and bring in Crackling Air. I think this is a reasonable idea. We'll give this a try. Alright, so we're going to play these 2 cards in the Spellweaver no matter what. Just want to make sure I haven't messed up anything with streaming or the VOD. No, looks all good. Didn't leave the words up or anything like that. Alright, so we want to go late because we want to give the Brute more flexibility to create the wind whenever, so we can use that for Crackling Air. So what card is the Brute giving away on the first turn? Well, Trample will be useful later. I guess we don't need Spare Dagger very early. I mean, in the immediate future. Sorry, I'm just figuring out my cards, and then I'll figure out where we're actually starting. Afternoon, Isio. How are you today? Doing well, I hope. Alright, so McCraggikins, but we brought back up ammo to set that up on the first turn as well. Do we need to get into position? Oh no, we want to create some obstacles with Avalanche. Alright, so where do we want to create obstacles? So we can actually figure this out, because we have all this information here. So it's going to go night, wind, frost, sun, earth, flame, night. All right, so in this corner there will be night and frost, so 2 non-flying. So that's definitely the most valuable corner to put some obstacles down in right away, I think. All right, so I like that. So what we can do is we can begin by starting here, I would say, and place obstacle there. I like this. Beginning the setup of our wall. It's going to be more difficult to set up all the obstacles we want, given that we're playing without stamina potions, but we're going to give it a try regardless. Okay, so the Spellweaver kind of wants the summon to be here, I would say, so that it can attack the Night Demon and then easily... I guess we don't actually want it to go up to this. What's the bottom left corner? Bottom left corner will be Sun. So yeah, it's maybe better if it goes from these 2 over here. So setting it here is probably fine. The Brute can pretty much be whatever. We'll have him move down to attack the Night Demon. Yeah, because we don't need to disarm... Huh. No, yeah, because the Wind Demon won't spawn until the end of the second round. We wouldn't be able to disarm in advance anyway. Okay, yeah, this looks good. All right. So I think everything is set. Let's give all these cards a shuffle. Battle goals. Ha! We almost forgot, but not quite. We're too good for that. We never forget battle goals anymore. We're an expert battle goal player. Battle goal user. 13 or more experience will allow none of your allies to become exhausted. Whew! This is one of the more difficult ones to allow no one to become exhausted because, excuse me, at some point you end up just tanking hits for hail. 13 or more experience, it's also pretty tough. Balance measure is one of our better experience gainers. Let's look at what we have overall. So, yeah, we're kind of not doing anything with either of those. No, I'd say 13 experience is not very likely for this scenario. 13 is pretty on the edge anyway in general for the Brute. The Brute can get 13 per scenario, but doesn't that frequently. No allies becoming exhausted is a little bit more likely, I would say. But on this scenario specifically, because we're not going to balance measure a lot, since we don't move a lot. Loot no money tokens or treasure overlay tiles during the scenario. Wow. The Cragheart is just getting all the perks. Come on now. I mean, this is a free one if we beat the scenario. There are no treasures and no coins, no treasure tiles. We did get our perk last time, right? Yeah, because we did the 2 perks. So 2 more check marks for the Cragheart if we can win. That's pretty great. And the Spellweaver, doesn't matter what 2 they are, not going to get it. Kill 1 or more elite monsters, kill an undamaged monster with a single attack. Alright, well, we're going to try to kill 1 or more elite. Half the enemies in the scenario are elite, so. Okay. And there were no special rules that I missed in the sense of, you know, need to take some negative cards or something. No. And Hale has 14 life, and she's in the center, has an initiative 99. Yes, I am taking a Reviving Ether. Give me 1 second, I'm blowing my nose. It can seem weird to some people to take Reviving Ether on this scenario because you're constantly engaged in combat, and typically the Spellweaver wants to try to use Reviving Ether when you're not in combat in order to, you know, get herself back up, because obviously if you use it when you're in combat, you don't get a top action that round, which leaves your team let down a little bit. That being said, like I said, at some point in this scenario, you just, I mean, there are just too many enemies to deal with, and you end up just having to try to hold out for 1 or 2 more rounds while the enemies pound on you. And in a situation like that, Reviving Ether is something like a heal 30. So yeah, it's still worth taking. Just because we can play it even when we're in a bad spot, just recover all our lost cards and just use them to throw away to take damage. So that's why we're definitely still taking Reviving Ether. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. So brute first, move 3 jump. Go here. Reason for going here is this puts us next to where the monsters are going to spawn, and then gives us the shortest path to get up to there as well. But what if we want to do? What if we want to set up a straight line with that bottom thing? That's actually maybe better, right? Then we have to go before the Night Demon is the problem. Otherwise, the summon gets left out to dry. I guess we can put the summon here, then it'll just move to here and attack. That's fine, actually. And worst case scenario, the Spellweaver takes an attack. Then I guess cancel actually the Brute, because then his move thing becomes an attack too. But still, I suppose the upside is there. Wait, how did Warding Strength get back in here? That wasn't supposed to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I must have just accidentally placed it back in. All right. Got my nose still itching. So what would we be doing for our attack then if we move like that? We could use Provoking Roar, but again, we kind of want to save Provoking Roar for the Wind Demon. It sucks to use Provoking Roar on the Wind Demon because it does no damage to it, but if that thing doesn't, I mean, if it starts to attack, it really ruins us. I guess at the same time, if it attacks Hail once, that's kind of okay, because then the Disarm doesn't do anything anyway. Hold on, sorry, I do have to blow my nose again. Yeah, at the same time, disarming the Night Demon can be pretty nice because it hits so hard. Yeah, I think actually moving it to over there, setting up the upside of getting that move forward to there is just very good. If the Wind Demon's going to get 1 attack once, it's going to get 1 attack once. It is really annoying that this, I mean, Elite Wind Demon's warp scenario so much because of this really stupid passive. But, sorry, my fiance just brought me my coffee. But it is something we've got to deal with. All right. So yeah, we'll just move there and we'll do nothing with the top of Spur Dagger, but we did create a wind. Okay, then it's the Cragheart's turn. He's going to create an earth. Oops, that's not a wind. That's a wind. Create an earth and create 2 obstacles. Here, here, it's pretty much the same. Here and here. The first 2 of many. And then we're going to use the top of backup ammo and activate it. So our next 4 ranged attack actions gain add target. So from here, we're going to need to go do a melee attack on the Night Demon, but that's not too difficult. The reason why we want to do this is because we don't want to waste a charge of the backup ammo while there's only 1 thing to hit. Okay, then the Spellweaver goes, and Spellweaver is going to consume the air, activating Crackling Air, and going to play the summon. So Crackling Air here is on your next 4 attacks at +1 attack, but if we consumed Wind, it's +2 attack instead. So it's actually +2 on our next 4 attacks, which is why, like I said, we basically just did 8 damage this turn, which is pretty nice. And then we're going to use the bottom of 8 from the Ether to get the summon out. So we gain 2 experience here total for the time being, and we get a summon. Which, like I said, we're actually going to place here. We don't want to place it here because then if the Night Demon goes before us, it'll come and kill the summon. Here, the Night Demon would attack us, which we don't love either, but we're going to hope that, I mean, we're going to play against the worst case regardless. Okay, and then the Night Demon is spawned. I'm not going to bother writing S this time because I know that there are no non-spawned enemies in this scenario, so no enemies will be dropping any money. That's okay though, because the reward for the scenario is nice. Alright. And so that's the end of the round. So, well, we kind of have the Brute's turn all mapped out already, right? It'll run in and jump in and a smacking. So what should the Spellweaver be doing? It's a very good question. I guess looking to set up Cold Fire. I suppose since we're using Provoking Roar here, we should try to use Cold Fire on the Wind Demon. That makes sense. From where we are, we can even hit it. 1, 2, 3, expand. So yeah, let's actually try to do Engulf, I suppose, and I guess we have to move regardless, but that's okay. And then we'll save Mana Bolt for the following turn to make sure that we can go very early and hopefully stun the Wind Demon before it can go. Alright, this looks good. Like I said, a one target Cold Fire can be fine, even though it kind of sucks here because again, we're going to be dealing no damage. I mean, maybe we'll get a decent flip. We also have our bow. We might even just consider using that. Since we don't have fire orbs, we're never really going to hit multiple target shielded enemies anyway, and this Wind Demon is definitely the most threatening enemy. Okay, so like I said, for the Cragheart, we do need to do a melee attack, which is pretty much always going to be kinetic assault, which is fine. It's an attack 4. Not super exciting, but it's okay. Sorry, just give me 1 second. I just got to take care of something. Sorry about that. All right. So in that case, we just need to move basically to where the Spellweaver is. We do need to go after the Spellweaver though, because the Spellweaver won't. Otherwise, otherwise we can do a move 3. That might be fine. We could use Dirt Tornado now. Dirt Tornado is going to be very valuable later when there are more enemies on the board, but for now, for the next couple turns, there won't be many enemies on the board. That's a good question. Going early doesn't really matter so much here, though, because of the Provoking Roar. Presumably, I mean, again, if it goes before 10, it goes before 10, but then we're not killing it before it goes anyway. Then our initiative doesn't matter, and if it goes after 10, it's going to be disarmed no matter what, so it doesn't really matter how early we go. So it is still pretty free. This way, the advantage of going later is that if the Spellweaver moves first, then we can just do a move 2, and then because we have one move from the top of Kinetic Assault, we get to where we need to go anyway, without needing to use more movement. But then the real question is, what card do we actually just not want to use? I mean, which card do we want to get rid of right now? There's not really many. I guess it can just be Heaving Swing. It's kind of awkward to get rid of Heaving Swing, though, because we'll want that with Dirt Tornado. I guess we can just Hammer and Potion it back, though. It's going to be a pretty short scenario, so I think starting off with a Hammer and Potioning is probably quite alright. Alright, yeah, let's actually put this back over here. Sure. Yeah, I think that's fine. This lets us go after the 44. Alright, let's go. 15. Oh, close. Nice try, but not quite. Alright, so first things first, the Brute does a move 4, which is then an attack 4, because we move in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4 to here. Makes an attack 4 with disadvantage, because all attacks targeting Night Demons are disadvantaged. I already said his health, right? Yes. Alright, so attack 4 with disadvantage, oops, on the Night Demon. Okay, acceptable. So down to 10. And then we're going to make an attack 10 disarm. Sorry, attack 2. I'm thinking the initiative. Attack 2 disarm with Provoking Roar, also disadvantaged, obviously. Nah. So no damage there, but we do disarm him. And then we're done. So then the Night Demon is going to all adjacent enemies and allies suffer 1 damage. So the Brute is actually going to suffer 1 damage, and the Earth is going to be turned into dark or night. And he loses disarm. Okay. Next up is the Spellweaver, which means the summon goes first and moves to here. Makes an attack 3, I believe. Yeah, Mystic Ally is nice. We haven't gotten to use it much, but it is nice. Oops, disadvantaged. Oh, wow. Drawn 2 of our 3 -2s already total. Alright, it's gonna be like that, it's gonna be like that. So the summon's done, then we'll begin by attacking first, because in that case, if we, again, flip an ice, then we can maybe do something else, although it's so unlikely. We would literally have to flip pretty well here. I mean, it would have to be ice or ice crit in order to be able to get an ice here with the disadvantage. But anyway, we make an attack 4, range 3 using the top of engulf, which is disadvantage. Jeez. Man, that disadvantage has been killer for them. Alright. So it's down to 6. And then we're going to move with Reviving Ether. Where do we want to go? Is there anywhere we want to put ourselves? Not particularly. So we don't want to go here so much because the Cragheart's probably going to want to use Rock Slide to place at least a rock here, maybe even just going rocks like this in order to create a better barrier, because also by putting a rock here, it's going to do 2 direct damage to the Wind Demon, which is essentially an attack 5 because the Wind Demon has 3 shield. So accordingly, we don't want to take damage by being next to there. And we can stay on this side and still be able to hit there, so I think it's fine. Is there any advantage of moving to any of these places? I'm not really sure. What sucks here is actually this Night Demon. We really should. I mean, we expected to have been likely to kill it here this turn, since we were making what, an attack 4, an attack 2, so 6, plus an attack 4, so 10, plus an attack 3, so 13, plus an attack 4, so 17. We were making effectively 17 attack against something with 14 health here, which again, normal expectation for disadvantage, I think would still put this at right about 14 damage in the end, but we've got much worse than that, which is going to be a little bit costly because we can't leave this Night Demon around. It hits for way too much, but we'll maybe leave it to the Cragheart to figure that out. Yes, I think actually we'll just stay right where we are. I don't really see any advantage to shifting over there. I guess there can be. I'm not really sure that there is, though. No, yeah. No, I think we'll stay here. No, we'll go here. No, we'll stay here. So the advantage thing here is that we'll be adjacent to the Cragheart to heal him with the bottom mana bolt next turn, but he's not gonna need healing. This thing is never gonna. I guess it can theoretically go before 7. Does it before? All right. We'll stay where we are. Let's stay there. And so we just gotta jostle in place and create ice at the bottom of Reviving Ether. Then it's the Cragheart's turn. Oh no, we have to move. Yes, so the Cragheart can do his thing. All right, well we move over there then. No big deal. Easy peasy. Okay. Bottom impeding swing is a generic move 2 for the Cragheart. Like I said, we will use a charge of Hamana Potion to get that back immediately. And then we use move 1, attack 4 with Kinetic Assault. So we go here and we make attack 4 with disadvantage. Alright, that's a more reasonable disadvantage. Down to 2. Yeah, very real cost. I guess our summon should kill it next turn, hopefully. Actually, almost certainly. Because we've already drawn the -2 from our deck, so at this point, literally the only thing which can not kill it with the summon attacking is the miss. Ah, no, we forgot a charge of Crackling Air. Actually, it's dead. Oops, nice. Alright. Well, it's not excellent because now our summon's not going to have anything to do next turn, but it's okay. I mean, we did use Crackling Air, and at least this way we don't have to worry about it going early or something like that. So it was actually the Cragheart who ends up finishing it off with that attack 4 there, because it should have had 2 less health from before from when the Spellweaver attacked. Just forgot about the Crackling Air charge. Okay. I believe that's everything. So now we gotta spawn an elite Wind Demon, huh? Not so very cool. Oh yeah, good call. I don't know. It's just habit, I guess. It's just kind of a mechanical thing that I do, placing coins. But yeah, obviously no coins. Thank you. Good GCO. All right. Let me have a few sips of coffee before it gets cold. So we have some interesting choices here for the Cragheart. Placing the obstacles now feels a little bit worse because we'd like to be able to place them. Hey, Christopher, how's it going? Nothing much up for me. Just a nice Monday. It was 20 degrees out. Enjoyed being outside while I was out today, and yeah, now I'm doing some streaming of Gloomhaven. So pretty good Monday. Anywho, so the interesting thing now is whether we want to place the obstacles immediately or we want to wait. The advantage of waiting is that we could theoretically place obstacles to damage some of the... We should actually place it here and here because we could block off here. We would have to block off here, but then these obstacles... Yeah, it didn't make sense. If we waited, we could damage... I mean, we could place an obstacle at each enemy, which gives us, 6 damage rather than 2, but at the same time, there's definitely a strategic advantage to placing obstacles like this. Same time, we could do something like this, this, and this. We can't place it there while the summon's here, but the summon's actually going to move away, so it's not bad. If we waited a turn and did that, that's so much more damage. It gives us a less valuable strategic layout by not having 3 obstacles here, though. What's the next enemy that spawns in the top right? So then we have Frost Suns. It's Earth. Oh, yeah. Getting that finished off is actually very valuable against the Earth Demon. This creates a huge barrier for the Earth Demon to go around. No, this is quite valuable to do this now. All right. So let's go ahead and Rock Slide. Sorry, just got another sip. As for our bottom action, we're not quite sure yet. Guess the move for the Brute here, since we have to walk up and hit it anyway, is presumably... No, but I guess it's better to keep Balanced Measure for later. When we actually need to use the movement. Here we don't really... Well, we actually do need the movement, right? Yeah, we do. Alright, so then, yeah, let's just go with this. Because if we don't use move 4 here, we won't actually reach the Wind Demon. And Balance Measure, and we'll use our boots as well. I'm doing well, man. I'm on break for my first job. I just had a delicious sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich on a 5 cheese... Ooh, that sounds excellent. Pretty jealous. I mean, yeah, it was 20 degrees here this morning. However, that was in Fahrenheit. Oh, God. Sorry. Rip indeed. That was a nice setup, though, that sentence. Yeah, 20 degrees Fahrenheit, not quite the same thing as 20 degrees Celsius, that's for sure. All right. Yeah, I think this is fine. So ideally, then we'd like to create the obstacles before the Cragheart gets there, and before the Brute gets there, so he doesn't take the damage. I think we probably just want to move. We don't need to move a ton. Do we need? Is going so early that important here? I mean, or is it going to be that important later? I'm not so sure that it is, actually. So I think we can probably just use this now. I think it makes more sense to use this now. I think it's one of the least valuable cards here. Initiative is just not going to matter so much against most of these enemies because we don't have... I mean, initiative matters in, well, a number of different instances. It's very important, obviously, but... So first of all, it matters if you have some sort of like an AoE and you need the enemies not to move so that you get the ideal targeting for the AoE. But the Craggeart has that, but the enemies aren't going to be clumped for AoEs anytime soon. Point 2 is if you have some sort of crowd control or something like obstacle placement, which is function similar to crowd control, where by going before the enemies, you prevent them from attacking. But because we're using that this turn anyway, we're not going to have that on the Cragheart anymore, and we have no other forms of real CC. Finally, it matters if you're going to kill things, but so that you can kill them before they go, but I'm not so sure the Cragheart's going to be the one to kill anything before they go anytime soon here, so I think this is fine. All right, and we knew exactly what we're doing here. We need to go as early as possible because we have to... I mean, the Wind Demon has one possibility of going before us here. We just have to hope to dodge that 1 out of 8 and stun it before it goes, because otherwise we're going to have a really... Well, no, I guess it's attacking hail here, so it's actually not the absolute end of the world, but it would still be much better to get to stun it before it goes. Okay. Yeah, so overall, I think it makes sense just to use Unstable Upheaval here. The 1 Retaliate can actually be valuable on Blunt Force, and I think the initiative difference doesn't matter so much. And similarly, there's no... Well, we could consider having the Brute go here, and then the Cragheart could go here, using his boots to get 1 extra damage with Rumbling Advance, but I don't think using the boots on the Cragheart and putting him all the way up in this corner with the Brute, basically just leaving the Spellweaver and her summon to fend for themselves against the monsters that are coming from here, to really be the way we want to do this. So, yeah, I think I'd rather not. Alright, let's go. 21, that's fine. Spellweaver's first, which means the summon is actually first. So the summon can only move like this to try to attack this, which is annoying because it's basically taking itself out of position. Although, the monsters will spawn here. I guess it's gonna matter their initiative. Yeah, oh well. And then the Spellweaver goes, well, we'll begin just by using the top action. So we're going to consume ice and fire for the top of cold fire. So this gives us +2 attack and stun. We're also going to get 1 charge from crackling air, which gives us 1 more experience. So this gives us an attack 5 stun. I think we probably should use our piercing bow, and if we're going to use our piercing bow, we should probably use the eagle eye goggles. We essentially just want to blow as much as we possibly can to try to kill this wind demon as quickly as possible, because it presents an enormous threat every turn if it attacks and disarms people, especially if it were to do something like multiple target. So accordingly, I think even though, I mean, this is a 1 target, we don't have really multi-target here anyway, except for cold fire, and it's not super likely that we're going to get multi-target with that regardless. So I think it makes sense to. I mean, it does make sense to use the piercing bow now. I'm sure of that. And if we're going to use the piercing bow, we really can't risk the attack missing. So for that reason, I think we should use the eagle eye goggles as well. I don't think we'll use the power potion though. We can always apply that next turn. That doesn't really change anything. I guess it could maybe with the math. So what this has 12 health. So let's see. Cragheart does 2. We're doing right now 6, I would say, with advantage attack. So that's 8, and the brute is dealing 4. No, the brute's dealing 3 with balance measure. Huh. So the potion does kind of, and the potion matters if we get a +1 and the brute gets a +0, or backwards. All right, yeah, that's actually significant. All right, we're gonna use the potion as well. Let's double check our math there. Because there's also the summon which can attack it. And we don't actually mind the summon going up here, but no, we don't have early initiative next round. We've only got 26, so there's too good of a chance that the Wind Demon goes before the summon attacks. So again, let's check it. Cragheart, 2 damage, down to 10. Here our attack is an attack 5. So with advantage, well, I will say a 5. So that's 7 right now, so he has 5 health left. And the Brute is going to do a move 6, which gives him an attack 6, except the Wind Demon has 3 shields, so this makes this an attack 3 normally. So again, we said we had 5 plus 2 is 7, so plus 3 is 10. So yeah, with advantage again, and the fact that we've already flipped what -2 and -1. Yeah, we have nothing except +0. I mean +0. Well, I guess we miss. We just have +0s left. We haven't gotten rid of all of them yet. I look forward to that. But still, I would say we're definitely favored to get at least +1 with an advantage attack. I guess the thing that sucks about using the potion is if we get a +2. But no, we just God, I hate elite wind demons. I wonder if you've all noticed this yet, but I think it actually does make sense just because of the math. Again, it's pretty likely to get a +1/+0 average between the Brute and Spellweaver. So if we get that exactly, then we're going to be leaving it 1 life if we don't use the potion, whereas if we do use the potion, it's just dead, which helps so much. If we had early initiative next round, it would be kind of a different story. We might just be able to hammer potion this. But that's a good point. But still, being able to have the summon come attack something over here is also valuable. No, we're going to use the potion as well. All right, so goggles, potion, piercing bow. There's a lot of hate for this one demon, but elite wind demons, I tell you. All right, so this is an attack 6, ignoring all shield with advantage, which also has stuns. Okay, there's the +1, so it's just like we drew it up thus far. So we get 7 damage to him. He's down to 5, and he is stunned. And then we have the bottom of Mana Bolt. So where do we want to go? So the bottom left is going to be spawning a Sun Demon. Sun Demons are not easy for us to deal with at this point. We've already used our Piercing Bow. We'd rather go up to where we can start attacking the Frost Demon. So we don't want to move all the way up to here because then we'll take a damage from the obstacle. So we'll actually just move to here. This is fine. This puts us still in a decent spot to attack this. It's annoying because it can actually more easily reach us, but we also kind of, for now, block the path to hail. All right. And like I said, I think we will use a charge and Hammer Potion. There's no point in being greedy and trying to hold on to this for too long. Honestly, we're never getting back as good of a card as Mana Bolt with the Hammer Potion. I mean, Mana Bolt's the best card we're ever getting back with Hammer Potion. Even though it's not adding a turn here, we can just use Hammer Potion again next turn, which I think is relatively reasonable, and get it back again. I mean, and be able to actually gain a turn. And even if we don't, at least this way we're guaranteeing that we don't lose Mana Bolt at a short rest. Or if we do, I mean, we're at least giving ourselves the ability still to play that actual action again. I hate Wind Demons too. They're definitely among the worst. The shield is just so crazy. Their range, hit hard, and just fly. Well, I specifically hate Wind Demons not because of all those things. I hate the elite Wind Demons because of the disarm. I mean, that's what really takes it over the top for me, right? Like, them being difficult to kill, flying, long range, all that stuff, I mean, I agree, it makes them annoying. But throwing Disarm on a ranged enemy who has two multi-target cards is just insane, right? I mean, it's possible, like, one flip from a Wind Demon can just end the scenario by disarming 2/3 of my party for a significant round. That's what scares me the most about them. That's why I just have to kill them with a passion. Okay, so next up is the Cragheart. So Cragheart's going to create Earth and gain 1 experience at the top of Rock Slide. And place some rocks. Like I said, it's going to be our little rock wall here. By finishing this, we've closed this off completely, and we've created this awesome little neat space here to be able to pop off on the enemies in the top section without the melee ones being able to get to us. And like I said, we're going to have Frost Demon here and then Earth Demon here afterwards. So this is actually going to provide a very valuable amount of protection. Yeah, exactly. All right, and that does 2 direct damage to the Wind Demon. Okay, and then we have a move 2 with Unstable Upheaval. Where do we want to go? I guess we should just stay down here to be able to protect her. The annoying thing is it's going to waste a charge of our backup ammo because we're not in position. I guess we can always move next turn, move to like something like there if we need to. All right, this works. We'll go there with Unstable Upheaval. The question is, should we Hammer Potion back that? But no, like I said, the initiative just doesn't matter to me so much right now, so I think I can save my second charge of Hammer Potion, even though I normally do like to use it with Unstable Upheaval. All right, so now the Wind Demon goes, but is stunned, so does nothing. And then the Brute's up. So we've got a move 4 jump. We're going to use our boots on top of that to turn this into a move 6 jump. And where do we want to end up? Yeah, definitely up here, because there'll be an enemy up here. Although at the same time, it's an enemy with Retaliate, but we can't do 2 range attacks on it. I think that's fine. All right, yeah, we'll go to here. So, I mean, we move 6 total. We end up there because we have a jump anyway on this move, thanks to our enhancement. We gain 1 experience, and this allows us to do an attack 6 on the Wind Demon. All right, please be kind. Oh, God. All right. The disarm gave us safety at least, which was good, but yeah. So we get a +0, which turns our attack 6 into an attack 6, and the enemy has 3 shield, so we kill it. It wasn't us to kill an elite, was it? No. No one become exhausted. Yours is free. So those two are kind of like the free ones, although Brutes is less so. We have to kill an elite. All right. So the Wind Demon is down. That's great. So we're definitely managing so far, although we invested a ton of resources into that turn. We've got to hope that it pays dividends. So next up we have Frost and Sun. Yeah, we actually set them up in the correct order, so we can just pay attention to that as well. So we got a Frost here and an Elite Sun here. Elite Sun is no joke. So 18 health, 2 shield, all attacks are advantaged, and it's like 2 to 3 multi-target cards in its deck if you count the ranged one, which can have Sun to be multi-target. And then here, much less threatening, 12 health Frost Demon. All right. So what's the plan here? Well, we don't have a ranged attack on top anymore. We've gotten rid of both of ours. Ugh, that was a mistake then. It's time to use some Retaliate, boys. I'm not even joking here. Oh, God. So, what the Brute can do here is we could theoretically, like, move to the enemy. And, I mean, we could move with any of these as a generic move, and then we can do an attack 5. So the attack 5 will deal 5 damage to the enemy, but we'll also take 3. Okay? And then we'll also get attack back for, I think, 4, maybe 5. Yeah, for 5. So we take 8 and deal 5. Okay? Or, alternatively, we can use the bottom of skirmishing maneuver, where we take no retaliate, we do 3. And then we can use the top of eye for an eye. Presumably, the enemy should attack us. Now, this is the problem with retaliate, is that he can choose not to attack for the turn, but if he doesn't attack for the turn, that's also fine. Then we just got 3 free damage. He can choose to do the ranged attack, which is definitely the worst thing. The ranged attack would be the only thing that would be really bad for us. But even then, like, even if he does the ranged attack, he takes 3 damage and we take 5, as opposed to him taking 5 damage and us taking 8. Our health and their health at this point are kind of interchangeable. So a 3-3 is maybe even, but again, the 3-3 is the worst case, and the best case is he takes 5 and we take 5, rather than us taking 8 and him taking 5. So yeah, I think this makes sense. Man, we're gonna play the top of eye for an eye. It's not gonna work just because the top. I mean, retaliate actions as the primary action can never actually work, but this actually does make the most sense. It is the most logical action, I would say, here, rather than trying to play a loss and like trying to move down here. I think all that is just a bit much. Okay, so what do? Well, I think we want to do shield this turn, and we want to use mana bolt. Yeah, I guess we're not hammering anything. That's a little bit too bad. We definitely don't want to use flashing burst because we don't want to create light for the sun demon. We're just going to consume this earth because I think it doesn't really matter much to the Cragheart here. Or does it? That's interesting. That is most interesting. We could actually get a 2-target Earth and Clod immobilizing both of the enemies. This is nice because they're both melee, but they both can make ranged attacks. The Sun Demon actually has 2 ranged attacks too, and the problem is it wouldn't actually deal any damage to the Sun Demon. But still, that's pretty valuable. Now we regret getting rid of our 13 initiative, huh? I hadn't even thought about this. It's so rare that I ever use the top of Earth and Clod, or that I even care about the disarm. I mean, sorry, the immobilize. It's just so likely that they do nothing good, though, right? I mean, that it ends up not working, but it's an evil temptation here for sure. The value that this provides, if they both just do like +0/+0, you know, move +0, attack +0, is so high. But if they end up doing stuff other than that, it ends up being so bad because we, you know, we did a crappy attack. Otherwise, we can just move up and make an attack 3. This is also kind of bad, but it's safe at least. And then get a retaliate up. If we're going to disarm, I mean, immobilize the Frost Demon, obviously we should consider changing the Brute's plans as well, because we don't need to retaliate if the enemy shouldn't approach us. I don't know. I'm so risk averse generally. Yeah, ultimately, but there's also the advantage of it protecting the summon as well. But I guess us moving up also protects the summon in case it does a ranged attack. But I guess we still have the flexibility to move worst case. Alright, let's go for it then. No, at the same time, the Spellweaver is actually giving shield this round, which is pretty free. So what if the Spellweaver doesn't use the thing that gives shield this round then? I'm going to use the generic bottom move to get a card back. Alright, alright. So this is, we'll say, quite risky, right? But it has very high upside. So there's a lot of reasons why this is good. So first of all, like I said, these are technically 2 melee enemies. So theoretically, immobilizing both of them functions like a disarm, makes them not attack, which is quite valuable. I mean, even though we do want to kill enemies for some amount of time in this scenario, our ultimate goal is protecting Hale, so it's our health totals and Hale's health total that matter more than killing enemies. Now, we have to keep ourselves ahead of the early enemies, otherwise we'll fall behind too much, so we do need to keep killing them. But still, getting a turn of neither of them attacking, especially with the amount of attacks that we get to make still, it's quite valuable. The second point is, we actually, by doing this, we change the Spellweaver not needing to use the shield here, because theoretically we don't need the shield if they're going to be immobilized, which allows us to do something like attack with Flashing Burst and use Mana Bolt as a generic move. By using Mana Bolt as a generic move, we can then Hamina Potion it, which allows us to get that extra turn we wanted, and then next turn we can consume that light that we've created here. By going at 7 anyway, we're pretty safe against the Sun Demon, and that turn we'll be able to use Elemental Aid to give the shield, so we'll still get the valuable shield. And there should be more enemies on the map at that point as well, so the shield should actually be more valuable. I think this is too good to pass up. Again, so the thing is we have a move no matter what, so we can still kind of audible worst case scenario and I mean still protect the summon somehow. The worst thing is that we'll just be doing a worse attack. I think that doesn't matter so much. Basically, instead of doing just a melee attack 3 on this one, we'll do an attack 2, but our modifier deck's decent at this point, so this is actually okay. I mean, it wastes a charge of backup ammo, but honestly, the scenario is not that long that the charges of backup ammo are immensely valuable. And like I said, the enemies come from all 4 corners, so they don't really clump up, at least until much later on. So things like, you know, massive boulder plus backup ammo, it's less valuable. Yeah, I think we're pretty protected here. So now we just have to decide for the brute whether we want to change from doing this, because theoretically, if we're disarming the frost demon, I mean, sorry, if we're immobilizing the frost demon, the only way that this would matter, the retaliate would matter, is if we, for some reason, chose not to attack this or not to immobilize it, or if, yeah, that's about it. I mean, because if it does a ranged attack, the retaliate doesn't matter. Hmm. So there is another option, and I think it's actually the best option. I think then what I'm going to do is actually I'm just going to short rest now with the brute. It always feels bad to short rest early, especially after only having played 3 turns. But this way we guaranteed get a top ranged attack back, and we just don't want the retaliate anymore. And otherwise we're wasting a top action. And like, this is terrible for longevity, but again, it's a 10 round scenario, period. At most, it can be 10 rounds. Now, longevity still leads to us having more cards, which allows us to lose more cards later on. But again, dealing 3 more damage right now might be the difference between not needing to lose a card. So here we're losing like half of a card, yet we're getting significantly more value. And the more damage we do earlier in the scenario, the easier it is we can keep up for a longer period of time, which is quite significant. So yeah, let's do it. We're gonna short rest. All right, I guess we're gonna lose that. At this point, it's just an attack 3, range 3 on top, because we've created such a mess for the map, we can never really do the straight line move with the bottom anyway. And we don't really care about move 4s, we still got this one, and we actually care much more about having that towards the end of the scenario, because it allows us to execute like a high health earth demon or something like that. Okay, so we just do the thing we want to do here, which is 2 range attacks. All right, just having a sip. We do kind of wish that we had Skewer here, because this would have allowed us another card which could have functioned the same. We might have still had in our hand. A little bit unfortunate, but so be it. All right. So there is no more Wind Demon, but there are those 2. Let's go. Whew, we did it. Neither of them doing ranged attacks. That's so good. Paid off. So we got a little greedy and got a little lucky. So I like to see. All right, Spellweaver's first. So the summon needs to go 1. I mean, I guess we can have it go here or here. Definitely prefer to have it be here, so it's not adjacent to whatever comes here. Okay, and then it makes an attack 3 on the Sun Demon. Ooh, Lice? Doesn't really matter, but +2 is nice. So 5, and again, this has just shield 2. Yeah, so 3 actual damage. Nice. Do love the summon. Love when I get to use it. All right, now the Spellweaver goes. He's going to create a light anyway, so there's no reason not to do this. We could do this to gain experience, but again, we want to get Mana Bolt back with Hamina Potion, which means we need to use this as a generic, not this as a generic. So we're basically passing up on 1 experience to get back the card that we want rather than the card that we don't want, which is a difference of 19 initiative. And 19 initiative is significant, not just because it lets us go earlier and potentially kill something, but because if we're going to be using this Shield 2 for an ally, that's quite significant. I mean, making sure we go before the enemies is really important. Okay, so the top of Flashing Burst as an attack 3. It's actually an attack 5 because of Crackling Air. An attack 7. Wow. Not bad. So 5 actual damage to this. This is great. We only got 1 Crackling Air charge left, but that's okay. That's definitely paid off. So we just got to do a generic move 2. Do we want to go anywhere? So what's next? We've got... Oh, we figured it out wrong. It's actually Earth and then Flame. Oh no! So this is actually less valuable if we created that rock wall. We're still right about it being Frost in the Night here, but yeah, the Earth is going to be down here. Huh. Well, we definitely don't really want to go deal with the Flame Demon. How do we just not deal with the Flame Demon, though? We have no ways of dealing with it, basically. So what do we want to deal with ourselves? I guess we want to move here and probably attack the Frost Demon next turn. Do we even need to move there then? No, it's better just to be here because there's more flexibility about what we attack. All right, so we'll just kind of move in place with the bottom of Mana Bolt. Again, moving rather than healing. Well, there's no one adjacent who needs healing anyway, but also because this allows us to use our second charge of our Hamina Potion, just like we drew it up, and recover Mana Bolt. All right, So next up is the Cragheart. So he's going to consume the earth and make a 2-target attack 2 range 5 with Earth and Claw 2-target because of this, which gives us so we gain 1 experience for consuming the earth and 1 experience for backup ammo charge. So these are each attack 2s. I don't see any reason to use items just yet, I think. Yeah, I think this is fine. Like, with Dirt Tornado, once there start to be more enemies, with backup ammo also allowing us to add an additional target, I think it's very likely that we're going to get at least 2 targets in the future, so I don't necessarily see a reason to use the Minor Power Potion just yet. So let's do just the attack 2s. I guess we'll do Sun Demon and then Ice Demon. So each is an attack 2, immobilize. So Sun Demon, alright, 1 damage. Frost Demon, 3 damage, alright. Respectable. Okay. So then we just have the bottom of Blunt Force as a move to gain 1 experience Retaliate. We're definitely not moving anywhere to get Retaliated now. Do you want to move down here to deal with this guy? Not particularly. I think we'll probably end up like massive bouldering the 2 of them. I think we can, yeah, pretty much just stay where we are. Yeah, I think we'll stay here, that's fine. So yeah, we just kind of move in place with Blunt Force and gain 1 experience. Alright, then next up we have the Brute. So the Brute's going to gain 2 experience always because it's impossible for one of the attacks to kill. Since the target's at 9 health and we don't have rolling modifiers in our deck. And we're just going to do 2 attack 3 range 3s targeting this Frost Demon here. Alright, we'll say the top one first. Model doesn't really matter. Okay, 3 damage, and then the other one 3 damage. Perfectly fine. Not super exciting, but perfectly acceptable. There's a model, but again, I'm not placing the model. Alright, Sun Demon creates light, and Ice Demon creates ice, but neither of them can attack anything because they're both immobilized. Beautiful. Okay, and then we have to place, like I said, an earth, significantly an elite flame. And there's going to be another elite wind already next turn. Oh, God. Stupid wind demons. This has 7 health. This has 20 health. Alright. Man, after all that damage we did to him, he's still at 9 health too. 2 shield is rough. I'm just going to finish my coffee. Almost. Alright. Well, we already knew what our plan was. Yeah, pretty sure the Cragheart knows what his plan is as well. 2-target attack, and we might as well use Rumbling Advance to move and get 1 damage. We're going to need to tank somewhere. 1 damage on the summon also doesn't really matter. Because, yeah, the summon has 2 health. So if we deal 1 damage to it, it doesn't really change anything. If any of the monsters ever attack it, it dies no matter what. And putting ourselves between a monster and the summon actually can keep the summon alive, while, again, giving us 1 free damage. 1 free damage, for example, to the Sun Demon could be quite valuable. And we'll probably be short resting after this anyway. I guess it sucked that we used the Hammond Potion then, but yeah, I guess, well, it's still possible maybe that we do this next turn. We do have the full combo, so. Alright, so what is Ye Brute doing? He's brooding some people. Brutally. Like a brute. Ah, crap. We forgot to use a Minor Mana Potion last turn to create wind to set up Elemental Aid. Oh well. Might be okay. Might be okay. How do we do this now, though? What can the brute do? So we want to kill the Frost Demon, I think, because the Sunkeeper has just sucks because none of us are actually effective at attacking this, but we kind of have to. So it looks like the Spellweaver is probably attacking down there. So it's kind of up to the Brute to finish off this thing up here, at the very least. It sucks that this is just gonna, rain down fire and vengeance. But we can't kill it, so it doesn't really change anything there. We could do something like, no, we don't even have, without our boots, we can't even make it down here to, for example, execute the Earth Demon, which wouldn't be a bad thing to do, but we cannot make it. I mean, guess we should just go kill the Frost Demon, right? And go early with Provoking Roar. I think this is fine. Actually, we kind of want to... No, we don't want to go with this, because next turn we want to use Provoking Roar to disarm the Night Demon up here and go early and like jump back past our barricade of our obstacle barricade. So what can we use then to... I guess if we're going to move next turn, we don't really care so much about this. This is still pretty early initiative. 18 is about as early as the Flame Demons can go. It might actually be as early as they can go. I mean, the Frost Demons. Oh, yeah, that's right. We could just ham. Do we? Yeah, good call. Yeah, I forget about that sometimes. Hold on 1 second. Let me blow my nose. At the same time, I'm not sure that actually we... I mean, we should just do this, though. There's no reason not to. But I think the 18 would be fine. Even if we just hammed that back, it would be pretty much the same. Because, again, I don't think they can beat 18. I think their actual fastest card is 18. But I'm not 100% on that, so I prefer to go with the safer bet. So, yeah. All right, this looks, I mean, decent. It's not great because at this point, we're probably not killing this. We're certainly not killing this, and we're certainly not killing this anytime soon, nor are these getting CC'd at all. So we're starting to get to the point where we're in trouble. But there's not a lot we can do about it. We need some more obstacles, so it's definitely, I think, almost certainly a short rest from the Cragheart. Man, not having stamina potions is brutal for this scenario. It's not about longevity with stamina potions, that's for sure. Alright. Unlimited, unlimited. Let's do it. Alright. That kind of sucks a little bit, that the Flame Demon's attacking like that, because if we could have gotten out of his line, he would actually just not hit us, which would have been nice. But unfortunately, we cannot, with the cards we've played. Oh well, nothing to do about that now. So the Sun Demon is before the Earth Demon, so the Summon will attack that. That's good at least. Definitely prefer him to be attacking the Sun Demon. Ah. Alright, alright. We had nice flips before, can't complain too much. So who should be the one that we give the shield to? Well, we'll worry about that afterwards. First, we'll begin by, I guess, consuming the light. Yeah. So we'll consume the light, gain 1 experience, using the top of Mana Bolt to make an attack 3. Guess theoretically, if we kill this, then the brute. You have to make an attack 5 on something with 5 shield. Seems terrible. Nothing to use that can do better than that? No. Nope. Yeah, the brute's kind of stranded up there. This rock wall was not good for him. Yeah, so we'll just do our attack 3 on the Sun Demon. I mean, it's definitely a largely threatening enemy. And we just got rid of our miss, so at least we can't miss now. Alright, so attack 3 with Mana Bolt on the Sun Demon. Okay, so 2 damage. Take every bit we can get. And then we're going to use the bottom of Elemental Aid to give someone shield 2. The question is who should get shield 2? So the Brute's going to take an attack. The Cragheart is going to take at least an attack. Yeah, but only 1, yeah. Because we can never get the Cragheart to get attacked by both of them. So basically the Summon is getting attacked, the Cragheart is getting attacked, and the Brute is getting attacked. It sucks that the Summon's already dying, actually. It's only gotten to attack twice so far. Still, I would say worth it. I mean, basically it's done... No, it's attacked 3 times. 2 hits, 1 miss. But still, I mean, so attack 9 total, plus it's going to be like heal 4. Attack 9, heal 4. Yeah, that's worth a loss in a short scenario like this for sure. Oh, God. I don't know who should get the shield then. I guess probably the Cragheart. He's going to take the biggest attack here, since I suppose we're going to have him move up to take the Sun Demon's attack, and the Sun Demon is going to hit for a 6 with advantage, so better to give him the shield. Sure. Alright, so we'll use the bottom of Elemental. We really should have had the wind. I guess the wind didn't matter so much here. It would have just been 2 shield here. I mean, the 2 shield on the Summon, which is going to be at 1 health. I mean, I guess we could have gone here. Yeah, we could actually. We can go there. So then someone would be at 2 health. I guess the 2 shield matters. Yeah, if he gets a -1 or lower, it actually would have mattered. I guess we'll see. If they end up flipping a -1 or lower on the attack on the summon, I mean -1 or -2, I should say, on the attack on the summon, then I am going to regret having forgotten to create that wind. Otherwise, not really going to matter to me too much. Doing a heal 2 on the brute, meh. Okay. Yeah, so we'll give shield 2, affect any one ally to the Cragheart, who now has 2 shield. So the brute's up. We're going to use the bottom of Provoking Roar as a generic move 2. We're going to immediately Hammer and Potion it back. Okay. And then we're going to gain 1 experience, and we're going to do the top of Unstoppable Charge as an attack 5 on the Frost Demon. Naturally. Alright. And then we're done. Then the Cragheart's up. So the Cragheart's going to create Earth. Make attack 3 with 2 target Massive Boulder, consuming 1 charge of backup ammo, which gives us 1 experience. Actually, I'm going to stun this. Keeping that summon alive is very valuable. So what we're actually going to do, nifty stun powder. All right. I'm going to use the stun powder on my first attack, which will be the attack on the Earth Demon. So we do an attack 3 stun on the Earth Demon, then attack 3 on the Sun Demon. Nice. Yeah, I like that. So attack 3 on the Earth Demon with stun from Massive Boulder. There's splash damage, but splash damage doesn't matter on any of these targets. So Earth Demon first. Ooh, okay. Okay, well, it kind of sucks. It does make me regret the order in which I did the attack, because I would much rather have gotten this big of damage on the Sun Demon. Killing Earth Demons is not really ever a priority. Killing a Sun Demon is absolutely a priority, because the Earth Demon can be avoided with obstacles. The Sun Demon can never be avoided with obstacles, and it's generally a scarier attacker. Okay, and then on the Sun Demon, but again, I'm not gonna look at good flips overall. So we get 3 damage on the Sun Demon. It's down to 4. Okay, then we're going to use the bottom of Rumbling Advance to do move 2, and we're going to move just to here, like I said, which does 1 more direct damage to the Sun Demon. Nice. Okay, and we're done. Yep. So then the Flame Demon goes. The Flame Demon makes an attack 5. There's no fire to consume, so nothing like that. So an attack 5 on the Brute, because it can attack in the line. Okay. We'll just use all our things right away anyway, so this is 3 damage. And then the Sun Demon goes. So the Sun Demon has no light to consume, but is just going to make an attack 6 with advantage on the Cragheart. Okay, so we have 2 shield on the Cragheart, so the Cragheart takes 4. Frost Demon's eliminated, and the Earth Demon is stunned. Alright. Well, that stun changed a lot, actually. This was, yeah. I mean, it's tough to keep track of 3 characters. I do look forward to playing 2 again, but when you notice something, it's nice. Alright, we've made it halfway through. We're already getting reasonably far behind. I mean, we have no plan whatsoever for dealing with this thing. But, yeah, we'll see. So then, next up we have Night and Wind. Yeah, the Wind is a big problem. And the Summon's going to attack it, too. Ugh! That sucks. God, this is so silly. I mean, so we're not even going to be able to easily kill this now? I don't know what's going on there. Anywho, we'll figure that out in a sec. So this is uneliminated. This is uneliminated. So I'm gonna do some short rest. We're gonna short rest on the Cragheart, and we're gonna short rest on the Spellweaver. So Spellweaver first. Alright, I mean, yeah, Mad Bolt's quite valuable to me, but it's not reviving Ether. Even on this scenario, like I said. And we still got our Cold Fire combo and our reviving Ether, so that makes us pretty happy. Here we're short resting because we really need to get back some relevant cards, one of which being, of course, Rock Slide. Rock Slide being the most significant, I should say. Alright, so what are we going to do here? So what we could do is we could actually use the bottom of Kinetic Assault to give ourselves Retaliate 3, range 3, which would help us deal with both of these things. But then we would be getting, I mean, that would kill this and do it not, I mean, basically be like an attack 5 on this. We'd be getting attacked a lot though, which kind of sucks. We would also have to make sure our initiative was earlier than the Spellweavers, which is not too difficult because Spellweaver lost her 7. Yeah, I mean, even our 19 is earlier. But the other downside is we'd be getting disarmed. Now, we do have some stuff we can do while disarmed. And for example, we could rock slide next turn. The question is it not better to just rock slide this turn? And that is a good question. I guess the reason why it's not better to rock slide this turn is because if we wait one more turn, we can actually let the summon. I mean, the Earth Demon is certainly going to attack the summon this turn, and this just absorbs another attack 4 for us, which is pretty significant. And then we rock slide the following turn. Yeah, I think that's reasonable, actually. So we play Kinetic Assault. The question is, what top are we doing then? Because we don't want to rock slide here because we can't place rocks here, and we can't place rocks in any of these spots, which is where we want to place them. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get damage here. I mean, the damage on this doesn't matter too much because they retaliate. God, what if they just heal? Oh God, playing retaliate can be rough. So what else could we play for a top? Do we have Earth? We do have Earth. Should we consider just avalanching these 2 targets instead? Avalanche should actually kill the Sun Demon, then we wouldn't need the retaliate. We're in a pretty good spot to avalanche here. Maybe that's just better. And then just go with this for initiative. This beats the most common Wind Demon card still. The problem, I guess, with this... What if we just do this then? Yeah, all right. But the problem is then what do we do if... All right. So the advantage of this is if we get disarmed, we can still play the bottom of Kinetic Assault, even after getting disarmed. And still... I mean, I guess, though, we wouldn't want to, because the Wind Demon will already attacked. It does give us a kill on the Sun Demon, but I don't think I would play this just to kill the Sun Demon. So no, I think it does just make more sense to do this. This still beats, like I said, the most common Wind Demon. The Wind Demon can go before us, but if the Wind Demon goes before us, it just sucks. I mean, there's not a lot to say about it. Wind Demons suck, really. And this gives us a good top, and then, I mean, this bottom, which is kind of just for initiative to move, which I think is fine. And then, like I said, with this, we should kill the Sun Demon, do a bit of damage to the Wind Demon, and then we can move and get ourselves in a better position to place Rock Slide next turn after tanking the disarm. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, so that's his plan. Our plan for the Spellweaver, I presume, should be the same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world. And as for the Brute, executing here seems quite decent. Rather than having to try to fight our way through, yeah, 14 health. I don't know if we're actually get there. Yeah, I think of the 3 types of regular enemies, the regular Night Demon is the most threatening because it has a lot of movement and equally high attack. I mean, I guess Frost Demon and Night Demon are kind of similar, but might as well just use the opportunity now to get one of these out of the way. I guess the downside is we're losing a big move and a move jump, which we kind of need to cross back over the stuff, but we can actually just go with this and this. The problem with this is actually really bad initiative. What if we do this and this instead? We don't move for now. We just sit here tanking these Flame Demon shots and execute this thing. I guess that's fine. And then we try to jump the following turn or something. Yeah, I think this looks alright. Because we do need the healing, so just healing while we're sitting here. I mean, someone has to tank the Flame Demon attack, so we don't want it attacking Hail. If anyone's going to be tanking, it's going to be the Brute. Alright, let's give this a try. So we've got all enemy types except for Frost, Sun, Wind, Earth, Fire, Night. Yes. 21. Whew! Just barely. Night Demon goes before us. It makes the execute feel a little bit worse, but there wasn't anything we could do about that. Sun Demon, target all adjacent, but hopefully dead beforehand. Otherwise, that's a big problem as well. Alright, well, Night Demon's first, creates a dark, makes an attack at -1, so an attack 4 on the Brute. 5. Alright. So 4. So then it's the Brute's turn. I'm going to gain 2 experience by playing the top of Fatal Advance as a loss. As a loss to just execute this Night Demon. And then we're going to use the bottom of Eye for an Eye to heal ourselves for 2 and create New Earth. When the Cragheart goes, he's going to consume the earth, gaining 2 experience, making an attack with Avalanche, which is an attack 5. I think we're just going to start blowing our stuff here. We really, again, we absolutely need to kill this Wind Demon. This is a huge threat. The last Wind Demon that comes out we won't worry about, but this one is still very significant. So yeah, I think I want to use everything. We're going to use the Piercing Bow. We're going to use the Power Potion. So the reason of using these now is we kind of want to use them in the Wind Demon anyway. I mean, the Piercing Bow at least. And I mean, I guess we don't actually need to use the Power Potion. Maybe it's better to save that still. Because the Piercing Bow gives us insurance. By using it now, it gives us insurance against the Sun Demon as well. Now, since we're making an attack 5, even a -2, we still kill the Sun Demon. Whereas, so the Power Potion only actually makes a difference on the Wind Demon. Yeah, I guess it's better to save that, but we will definitely use the Piercing Bow here. Yeah, I think that's it. All right. So well, I guess there's not really many people here, so I'll just do the order myself. Let's do wind and then sun. Hope this is right. Wind, all right, and sun. All right, that was the correct order. Whew, I got it right for once. Because that was perfect, because we got exactly 3 damage here. So that's dead. And then we got 6 here, and all ignoring shield, so this is actually just down to 6. Beautiful. Alright, and so then this is lost. We did gain our experience, right? Yes, we did. So that's lost, and so then we're going to gain 1 more experience by doing a move to retaliate oneself. So actually, if we go to here, then the summon will be safe from the Earth Demon. Yeah, it seems worthwhile. Alright. So we'll go there, and we've got gain 1 experience, we've got 1 retaliate. So that was us. Now the Wind Demon goes at 21. But it's going to pull us, so it's not going to matter so much. Is there any way we can... No, so there's no way. The pull is actually significant? What? What? Huh. Because keeping that summon alive is quite valuable. So is there any way we can make the pull actually put us in a position to get attacked by this? No, I don't think so. Because at worst, I mean, at best, we're getting pulled onto the spot that the Wind Demon is, always. I mean, that's actually always where we're getting pulled. So it's never making it so that this will attack us over. Yes, unless... Because this will stay here if this moves back this way. But what if this moves back this way? Then this can move back here. How much is the Earth Demon moving? No, but then the Earth Demon is going to cleave everything. That's worse. Because he'll still make it. And do some cleaving. I mean, the Spellweaver can always just go up and tank him then. Which is not really what we want to do, but I guess that's fine. And he'll be here. Alright, yeah, I guess that works out alright. And this puts us in a spot where we can more easily create the obstacles over here, yet still be in a spot to tank over here. Alright, yeah, I think this movement makes the most sense, actually. So we'll go there. Alright, so we move there in the end. So like I said, the Wind Demon goes, makes its attack, which, let's see, is an attack 4 disarm on the Cragheart. I forgot to use our healing potion, but so be it. So we take 4 damage, get pulled 1, which actually means that the Wind Demon takes 1 retaliate, funnily enough. So retaliate value, and then disarm. Okay, then the Flame Demon goes. The Flame Demon creates fire and simply makes an attack 5 on the Brute. So 4 damage to the Brute. Also going to need some healing. Then the Sun Demon is eliminated, which is the next thing to be spawned, right? Yeah, we created Night and Wind, so next it's Frost Sun, yeah. Oh, so it's gonna be Frost. Oh, we've really got to get this obstacle wall down here. That's so significant. Hopefully we should be able to make that happen next turn. Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Alright, anyway. So, yeah, Flame Demon Sun. So now it's the Spellweaver's turn. So the summon goes first. Like I said, it's actually here at the time. So it's going to attack this. It can move to here or here. We'll have it move to here. Makes an attack 3 on the Wind Demon, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. All right, 1 damage. Take every point we can get on that. Nasty creature. It's down to 4. And then the Spellweaver goes. I guess I actually want to attack the Wind Demon. The reason for this is, well, first of all, I actually want to move here so that, oh, but if I get immobilized there, he won't be able to create the rock wall. But I guess if this moves up, then the rock wall does nothing anyway. Are we going to go there and tank him for the rest of the scenario? That's so bad for us. There wasn't really any way around it. We could have moved the Cragheart further, actually, using the boots, I guess. And this would have, yeah, that might have been the best. Well, it's too late now. I mean, this is already flipped, so we can't take anything back. I think we'll just attack the Wind Demon then, regardless, because if we have to move over here, we don't want disadvantage. All right, so we create fire. We get the last charge of Crackling Air, which gives us 1 experience. So we have an attack 6, targeting Wind Demon number 2. All right, so 3 damage to 1. Then we create ice and move with Reviving Ether. Where do we move is the question. All right, so now we've got to do some real planning. The best is if we can create a wall like this. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, but then this is going to spawn here, so then we don't actually get the wall off. If we go here, wall like this, but this kills the summon. All right, is there anyone in chat who can figure this out? No, there aren't many people here. Yeah, Elite Wind Demons, exactly. The second one I've had to deal with already. Like you said, these things outside of 4-player I think are really imbalanced, truly. Yeah, I see that. Anyway, so what I'm trying to figure out here, if you want to help me with a little bit of a puzzle, I'm not sure if there is a solution. So basically, the Spellweaver needs to move up to tank the Earth Demon's attack, because the Earth Demon's can do a cleaving attack, so I don't want him moving up here and basically cleaving everyone to death. I mean, I guess as things stand right now, he would go here, so he would hit the summon as well as the Cragheart, but that still kills the summon, which I don't want, and hits the Cragheart. Whereas if the Spellweaver moves up, she can actually tank a single attack. I mean, she can be the only one to get hit. Obviously, the downside is we get immobilized. But we've got Reviving Ether. We don't have Frost Armor. I guess that was the other argument for bringing Frost Armor. MP. The Earth Demon has 2 moves, not 1 move. What, maybe I don't know what MP is. Yeah. So basically, what we'd really like to do is to create a wall of rocks like this. So that all the melee enemies, because there's actually going to be another melee enemy spawning down here. It's going to be a Frost Demon, actually, which spawns down in this corner. So being able to create this, have this walled off, basically will allow us to ignore 2 enemies down here. But I don't actually know how that's possible, because the problem is, I mean, again, unless the Spellweaver moves to the other side. The problem with the Spellweaver moving to the other side is that one of them is going to spawn here. But I guess we still have a way of making this work. I suppose what we can do, so if the Spellweaver goes to here, this will attack it here, her here. God, we're gonna leave the Spellweaver out there with this though? This just doesn't really solve the problem. The problem is the Spellweaver goes between the earth and the wind, then the Night Demon will summon here, or spawn here. So it's kind of the same thing, right? And then we would have to do rock. I mean, so the solution we have is we can actually use the bottom of Rumbling Advance to finish off the Wind Demon first, since it's 1 health. Yeah, I would have a single path. I really want to close this off completely, though, rather than leave a single path. That makes such a big difference. Oh, you're saying if I place the two things here? Yeah, I mean, the Night Demon will focus the Brute, but there will still be this Earth Demon hitting us. And the problem is, the Earth Demon, I mean, it still hits for 4 and immobilize every time, which is a big issue. I'd much rather be able to close this off completely. Like I said, there is a solution. If we use the bottom of Rumbling Advance first, we deal 1 damage to this. Do we? Yeah, we haven't done 1 damage to this yet, so, well, but I mean, it's still going to die with the rocks. So that kills this, and then, because this is dead, we can actually go rock, rock, rock like this, with the Night Demon here and the Earth Demon here, leaving the Spellweaver outside. Which, again, the downside of this is that we kill the summon with the rocks, which really sucks. The whole reason we kind of did everything we did here was to keep the summoner alive. But I still think this is the best. This is the only way we close this off, and this, again, eliminates 2 enemies, which is quite significant. So anyway, the Brute can come help us with anything down here? No, not really. He can never make it to do anything significant. I mean, he could disarm one of them, but yeah, I think this is the best place. So if we go here, the Night Demon spawns here. If we go here, the Night Demon spawns here as well. Doesn't really change much either way. I guess here we take damage from the rocks, here we don't. It's a small difference, but we'll take any small difference we can get. The new melee, all right. Yeah, because you were talking to he would focus the Brood, assuming I was here, and we place like rocks here and here. But yeah. Like I said, I really like to try to get it closed off. All right. So the Earth Demon goes. What was our table again? So fire. So you consumes fires. All right. So is the top of the table. And creates Earth. And does attack -1 immobilize. So attack 3 immobilize, targeting the Spellweaver. Jeez. I don't deserve that. Well, this is going to get a little bit more difficult when we lose half our health to the first attack. We were counting on being able to take 2 attacks without having to lose cards. This is going to change things significantly, unfortunately. Alright. That's the end of the round. So we need to spawn. Oh, whoops, I was saying Night Demon. It's actually Frost Demon that spawns here, not Night Demon. Alright. You here. You here. Super Elite. 18. 12. You would consider the table as round. Ah, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense because I was going to say, otherwise your table is just always fire that gets consumed by everyone. I understand what it means now. Okay. All right, that works. Thank you. So actually, yeah, we would not have this, and we would have this. Which, as it turns out, is actually, well, it's not, I mean, in the end, from my perspective, it's good for it to be like this because now I can do a full cold fire. But from their perspective, it also kind of makes sense because they actually have an ally which uses ice, and they have no allies which use dark at this point on the field. Although, again, I never take stuff like this into consideration. All right, we need to go as early as possible because we have to cold fire these 2 enemies before they kill us. And pray that we go before them. As for the Cragheart, well, like I said, we know exactly what we have to do, which is dropping rocks. Oh man, the Spellweaver is actually going to have to lose a card because the Retaliate. Yeah, that +1 actually really mattered. Because we're going to get 3 Retaliate from here. And then, oh no, we're not going to take damage from the rocks. Okay, yeah. Alright, oops. So this plus this. Always. Maybe the Wind Demon will be kind and go later. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oops. So there's just the Brute left. Oh yeah, and his play is really clever. I mean, not clever. Really simple. Disarm that Sun Demon and run inside the rock wall. Goodbye. Well, they will fly, so it doesn't really work like that, but we did heal him for 2 last turn. We didn't. Did we forget that? No, last turn it was, yeah, it was, the healing was before, and I think we did remember it. Well, I hope so. All right. So we've got no more Night Demons, otherwise we've got everything else. All right. I think our plan is good. Please go late, Wind Demon. Please go late. Ah, 21. I mean, I can't be unhappy about them getting 21. 21 is the norm. Ah, we're disarming you when you're not even attacking? Ah. Well, at least they're doing nothing. I mean, this is alright overall, but the good news is the Spellweaver is getting to go before both of them, which is, like I said, quite good. Alright, well, the Flame Demon goes first. Oh, no. How how badly I wish I had a mana potion instead of a sun powder. Yeah, I mean the sun powder was just good for me on the Cragheart, but I think not having a mana potion on the brute hurts. I mean, it would make such a huge difference here. Not having that mana potion might actually cost me this scenario, like that one decision. I mean, admittedly, it's because of this flip. So the Flame Demon, unfortunately, is going to consume ice, creating fire. He's going to move to his focus, which I guess is going here. Yeah. And place a trap, which I guess is going to be here. Oh, that's so awful. This is going to cost the Spellweaver her life, almost certainly, because now we're not going to stun either of them. Unfortunately, the Spellweaver goes before the Cragheart, so the Cragheart can't even create the requisite element. The Brute doesn't have movement to do the things which are necessary here. No, first he can go as this because he doesn't have the boots. Yeah, this is really bad. This is really, really bad. There's no way around it, though. Alright, well, we'll cross that bridge in a second. Sun Demon... No, sorry, the Brute goes. So what we're actually going to do... We're not going to attack the Flame Demon, because this would be silly, because even though we could stop it from doing attack 5, we'd take Retaliate 5, so it's just not worth. I mean, there's one action it can do, which can make it worth, but I don't think generally that's the right plan. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to do a generic attack with the top of Provoking Roar, so we can hammer and push it back. So we'll do a generic attack 2 on the top of the Sun Demon, because why not? Alright, so 1 damage. We're also going to use our healing potion now, before we forget. So we end up doing 1 damage here. Goes in attack 3, but with 2 shield. And then we're going to hammer a potion back. Provoking Roar. Then we're going to use the bottom of Leaping Cleave to create wind, do a move 3 jump. But I swear, DTS is a little bit laggy sometimes. Alright, so where are we moving to? I mean, I guess we have to keep protecting Hail. It's most likely we're moving here. It's still, I don't know exactly. I guess it lets us use ranged attacks on enemies down here as well if we need to. Not that that's really our plan. Alright, the Sun Demon goes. Does heal 3, range 3, can only heal itself. I guess the damage we did really didn't matter. Alright, then the Wind Demon goes. This pull, actually. Oh, God. No, I guess it doesn't matter. We just move away now. Still. But still. Alright, so moves to there. Creates a wind. There's already wind. Makes an attack of 4 on the Cragheart. 5. Jeez. Yeah, it's going to be tough to win this scenario. And I guess pulled to here makes more sense. Then it's the Spellweaver's turn. So she's immobilized. Unfortunately, she's going to spend the rest of the game immobilized, and she's just going to die here because it's Earth Demon. Since we don't get to stun it with Cold Fire. This is truly a disaster. There's no out. Because otherwise, if we'd stun them, then we only need 1 turn to jump over. But at this point, we'll never get to go. Where are we? Like, I mean, if we had a Cloak of Invisibility or something like that, yeah, sure. But we don't. So we'll never get to go again. I mean, we'll never get to move again for the rest of the scenario, basically. Especially because we're going to take an attack 3 and an attack 5 here at 5 life. So one of those is losing a card, the other one is maybe losing a card. This is a bit absurd. Alright, well, it's actually the summon which goes first. It's going to attack the Wind Demon, which also sucks. So that's the target we really don't need to attack. We did so much work to keep it alive, too. Yeah, we shouldn't have. Oh, this is dead. Well, at least the Spellweaver got our battle. Oh my god, no! This is why we're gonna lose! Oh, it's a curse. It's a curse. Uh... Oh my god, it could have flipped ice. That would have been the one way out. If we'd flipped ice on the summons attack. We had a 1 in 9, actually. Which is not too terrible. I mean, well, given what's already happened. So what do we even do now? We definitely don't attack the Frost Demon. That's 100%. Guess we have to try to kill this Earth Demon now? That's great. This makes this rock wall so silly. Yeah, I mean we're gonna consume the fire. So we could do this attack, but it's better to use cold fire because at least we get rid of fire, so this flame demon can't use it. We don't really care about it so much ourselves. We're gonna do an attack 3 with cold fire, which is disadvantage, and we're just gonna attack the Earth Demon because again we don't want the 3 retaliate from attacking the Frost Demon. So disadvantage attack 3 on the Earth Demon. Yeah. So 4 damage. He's down to 10. And we don't have Hamina Potion charges left, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. So these just go into our discard. Okay. So then it is the Cragheart's turn. Is there something we can do here to make things better now? Not placing the rocks is probably the answer. Since the Spellweaver's stuck out here now, I guess we can't abandon her. That's the answer. We just have to try to kill these things now. That's our route to victory, which sucks because we're basically losing the advantage that the Cragheart provides of obstacle generation, but nothing we can really do about that at this point because of what happened there. Alright, so that means we should probably actually just heal the Spellweaver. God, we're also missing out on a Rock Slide turn, which is atrocious. But yeah, the Spellweaver's just going to need the healing to survive this. So we're going to do a heal 4, range 2, targeting the Spellweaver, who is range 2 away. Spellweaver goes back up to 9, which again, assuming plus zeros, does mean that she survives both the attacks here. And then we're going to use the bottom of Rock Slide. Oh, we can actually Hamina Potion it back. Alright, that's good at least. As a generic move 2, where do we want to go? I mean, we can't really tank the attacks. We're actually at 5 life. Well, we're going to use our healing potion now as well before we forget. Yeah, well, that's difficult as well because we create an earth, right? So when they draw their heal, they actually immobilize everything in range 3, and we've already, I mean, like either thing we do here, in order to be effective, we have to create an earth. So they'd still immobilize. So where do we want to move to, is the question, with a generic move to, because we're getting this back no matter what, using the last charge of our Hamina Potion. Do we want to go up here? What are we doing next turn, I guess is the question. Bottom heal is valuable. Rock Slide is still not bad. Maybe Dirt Tornado even? Maybe it is time to just use that. So in that case, where would we want to be? Well, there will be an enemy here. We don't want to be retaliated by this. What'll be here? Oh god, a Flame Demon? Pfft, what a joke. And up here would be an Earth Demon. Because I've got my backup ammo charge, so I need to figure out where I want to go. Guess I'm just going to go here and tank the Flame Demon attacks. Alright. God, this is just gonna kill itself on the Flame Demon. Oh, this summon. I mean, it was good. I should have just, like I said, the amount that it had already done in the beginning of the scenario was well worth having played it. I should have just not tried so hard to keep it alive. I guess the big problem though was the multi-target thing from the Earth Demon. I also really wanted to make sure that I prevented that from hitting too many things. But I should have just moved over with the Cragheart. This would have made things a lot better. Well, really, this was what made things so bad here. So where to? Yeah, I think just moving here is fine. Just so we don't get retaliated when we hit these things next turn. Okay, so we've got Earth Demon and Frost Demon now. So the Earth Demon goes first, makes an attack -1, so an attack 3 on the Spellweaver with Immobilize. Jeez, come on. So 4. Spellweaver's been attacked twice so far and has seen a +2 and a +1 drawn against her. Alright, we need a -1 now so we don't have to lose a card. So the Frost Demon goes, makes an attack 5. No, of course not. Alright, well, goodbye Elemental Aid. Come on. It's so unreasonable. Alright. That's the end of the round. So we've got Earth Demon spawning up here. At least he shouldn't do anything. Elite Flame Demon down here. So this Earth Demon should theoretically just move to here, and then we can close this off afterwards, I guess. If he gets +1 move, he gets +1 move. They just got their +1 move, though. I mean, yeah, like, you reshuffled, so. But it's, I mean, only 1 out of 8 now. So do we care about getting the bonus or doing a little bit of healing? Both are actually quite valuable. So the Spellweaver needs to do a short rest no matter what. I mean, yeah, we can't lose Reviving Ether. Guess we have to play Reviving Ether this turn. And go as early as possible to try not to die. Yep, seems reasonable. Okay, I guess the extra damage can be pretty valuable. The only way the Spellweaver would, the only reason the healing would be relevant here is if, so we would be at 38 initiative, the Spellweaver's at 44. So if somehow the monsters went between 38 and 44, and both of them went before 44, because she can even, I mean, and they would have to do 5 damage on each of their attacks. I think that's narrow enough. I mean, yeah, okay, that definitely, that would be my luck, but I think it is worth getting the extra damage. Again, we really actually need to kill these things now since we're not going to be able to block them off. Yeah, it is definitely famous last words. There's no doubt about it, but I don't think that I can do better. All right, so what is our plan for the Brute here? Looks like the Brute needs to do another short rest, huh? Doesn't really have any... These cards just aren't really getting anything done. Disarming this, but taking a Retaliate is just not worth it. Yeah, we wanted ranged attacks. Yep, so short rest. Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to keep that. Actually, I really do want to keep that card, but at the same time, nah, it's just silly to keep it. So we're basically, we would be paying 1 life to keep a heal too. I mean, yeah, it might heal us multiple times, in which case it could be worth it, but there's no guarantee even that that'll happen. And just paying life to keep a heal, a smaller heal like this just isn't very logical. So we want 2 ranged attacks, and we're going to use our stun powder definitely on one of them to stun this elite Sun Demon up here to prevent it from doing too much damage. All right, I mean, we're not in a great spot here. We've only got to hold out a couple more turns. That's kind of how the scenario works. We'll see. +3 on the scenario, definitely no joke, because you cannot keep up for as long as you normally should be able to. Frost Demon at 38, Earth Demon at 93. All right, at least that's fine. Sun Demon doing a ranged attack, consuming one of our elements, so we won't be setting up anything. That's okay. Flame Demon getting plus attack. That's pretty good. Wind Demon. Oops. My bad. Oh, it was a fresh deck anyway. All right, it doesn't really change much. Wind Demons were eliminated, and there wasn't a new one yet. There will be next turn, though. All right. Well, overall, this is kind of fine stuff. So first things first is the... Oh, and the Frost Demon actually going before the Flame Demon is good, because this means the Sun will actually attack the Frost Demon. All right, so that's good as well. So the Brute is first. No matter what, we're always getting 2 experience here, making 2 attack 3 range, so he's love skirmishing maneuver. Okay, so we definitely want to stun the Sun Demon, because it's going to make an attack 5 advantage on us, which is just a lot of damage. The Earth Demon has -1 movement, yeah, so he's not making it here, so we can leave him alone. We'll have the initiative plus, yeah, we'll have initiative plus this easily to block their path off. All right, so that works. So we'll make one of our attack 3s down here, because these are things we really care about killing. We don't have any illusions about killing this, but again, just attacking it allows us to stun it. I mean, we could theoretically use our stun on this, But now the Spellweaver actually should be fine here. And actually having her get attacked once before playing Reviving Ether is good because it essentially turns this into kind of like a free heal 4 since we can just lose it from our hands since we gain it back right away. So yeah, I don't think it makes sense to stun the Frost Demon. I'd much rather stun the Night Sun Demon, even though it's going to make the damage from this attack useless. It's essentially playing. I mean, the attack is like a heal 6, which yeah, seems good. Okay, so we'll do our first attack 3 on the Sun Demon, which we're going to use the Stun Powder for. So an attack 3 stunned, and the second attack 3 on the Frost Demon, which is not Sun Powdered. So Sun Demon first, attack 3. Again, the damage here really doesn't matter. All right, then the Frost Demon. That chose the wrong order this time. I could only get it right once per scenario at best. So it was 4 here, so 2 damage. I don't really ever plan on killing that. Did I set the health? Yes, I did. And then it's stunned. All right, so then the Frost Demon goes, has nothing special, attack -1, so an attack 4 on the Spellweaver. So 3. Of course, now they get the small things when I get a guaranteed chance to do this, but so be it. So we're just going to lose Cold Fire from our hand to negate the 3 damage. Again, this actually ends up just being a heal 3, but there's nothing else before us anyway. We're always getting our cards back here, so it really changes nothing. Okay, so then we go, which means our summon goes first. Again, the Frost Demon actually had lower initiative than the Flame Demon for once, so the attack 3 is actually on the Frost Demon from the summon. Okay, that's nice. So 6. So Frost Demon's down to 4. Yeah, summon mostly pulling its weight. All right, that is our turn. So we're actually going to play the Bottom of Engulf just for a loss real quick, and then we're immediately going to get rid of it. So should we keep the summon out? Yeah, I think we probably should. The healing is actually valuable, and one more card is also valuable. The summon's also so likely to just kill itself on the Flame Demon next turn. Yeah. But it could also absorb an attack from the Flame Demon, I guess is the significant thing. It's true that if the Cragheart, but the Cragheart's not going to move away. Is it possible to for it to absorb an attack? No, I think we should actually just get it back as well. Yeah, so we'll just put both these in our discard. I mean, in our loss, and then we'll play Reviving Ether, creating a dark. The summon's definitely, I mean, been useful enough to have merited having been played. It's just, anytime you're in a tough fight like this, you typically don't want to bring the summon back to get an extra card because the longevity isn't worth the extra power. But if the summon just ends up attacking the Flame Demon next turn, which is, I would say, the most likely thing that it does, then I would have rather had the card back in my hand than just have it lost for absolutely nothing. The advantage of keeping it out would be having it try to tank an attack from the Flame Demon, which means like a loss heal 5 is generally not great, but in this situation with 2 turns left in the scenario, or 2 rounds left in the scenario, yeah, I'd probably take that. But in our hand, it's also still basically a loss heal 5, because we can just lose it, so I think it's fine like this. And again, the only way that we get the Flame Demon to attack it is for the Flame Demon to go before the Spellweaver, but we also can't really have the Spellweaver go that late because we're still face to face with 2 beefy melee dudes. So let's just get all those cards back. And are we supposed to play an element or use an element of some sort? No, because this will use. So I guess this is using dark. So should we create ice in order to be able to cold fire? No. Cold fire this. I think our goal is just to try to kill these things though at this point, not to stun them. So I don't think we're going to create any elements this turn. We'll wait a turn. Oh no, because he is going to create fire. All right, yeah, let's do that. Let's use our minor mana potion and create ice. Yeah, it's good that we're paying attention to the demons for once. Since the flame demon is going to create fire for us, we'll actually have a full cold fire next turn just by using this. And I don't think it's unreasonable to use one of our minor mana potions. We still got one more. Okay, so we're done. So now the sun demon goes. There's just this one up here, and it is stunned. So it does nothing. It actually doesn't even do the consumption. Not that that really mattered. All right, so now it's the Cragheart's turn. So we're going to, we actually, oh no, we should use Earth. That damage actually matters. Yeah, so actually, sorry, we're going to create Earth with our minor mana potion, which is kind of a crappy thing to create because it's so easy for us. And the Cragheart will actually create Ice with his mana potion. Yeah, this works. Hey Rand, how's your weekend? We played for 10 hours yesterday. I'm happy to play again tonight. This game is addictive. Yeah, in the beginning it really, really is. My weekend was nice. Uh, my fiance was out of town for the entire weekend basically, so I had the bachelor pad to myself. You know, the usual stuff. going to the bathroom with the door open, stuff like that. Yeah, so it was enjoyable. And I'm happy to hear that you got to play for 10 hours yesterday. It sounds like a pretty awesome marathon. How far along are you all now? How many scenarios did you do in that amount of time? Maybe I'm guessing like 3 scenarios probably, but I'd be curious. All right. Yes. So we created the Earth so that the Cragheart can actually use it because that one extra damage could. I mean, then we just need to get a +1 and we'll actually kill this, which yeah is relevant actually. And if we don't get a +1, it's still okay because we give curses. All right. So we also give 1 experience by doing this. I think this is fine. So we use Dirt Tornado. We consume the earth that we created to gain 1 experience. We're also, sorry, using the bottom of Heaving Swing first, add +1 attack to all range attacks this round. And so then by consuming the earth, we've got the top of Dirt Tornado, which gives us an attack 3 Muddle Curse. We also gain 1 more experience because we get a charge of backup ammo. However, backup ammo gives us an add target added effect. We're going to choose to ignore this added effect because it would have to be an additional target within range 2. The only possible one would be a Flame Demon, which would give us a disadvantaged attack 3 into something with 5 shield and 5 retaliate. A no-no. Yeah, I know the backup ammo, but I'm definitely not, like I said, I'm not using the added effect. Got the 3 scenarios, but 1 took 2 attempts. Okay. Which scenario took 2 attempts? What happened? Well, I guess tell me the scenario first. We'll see how spoilery it is. Okay. So we'll do Frost Demon and then Earth Demon. So each of these are attack. Oh no, we should use the Power Potion then. That actually puts us to the full 4. Yep, we'll use the Power Potion as well. So this gives us an attack 4 on each of them. So Frost Demon first. No. Oh, really? We have 2 -1s in our deck. All right. Well, like I said, it does give a curse. Oh, that's so much worse. The curse is worse. And Muddle. And then the Earth Demon, I'll add the curse in a second. Yeah, classic. I've chosen the wrong order. I mean, I got the order right one time, and I was on a high. I was feeling good. And then this is what happened. So we get +1 here. So this turns this 4 into a 5. I was feeling good. And this is gone, but we're gonna have it again in a second. So 2 curses. Because at this point in the scenario, with this little time left, I definitely prefer to kill an enemy rather than give a curse. Without a doubt. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It is very RNG dependent, which is a shame. And yes, they are no joke. It's true that those are very high variance too because of the strength of their summons. So if they never summon, then they're very easy, and if they do summon, then they're very, very difficult. Okay, so the Craggy is done. We have nothing else to use, no. So then the Flame Demons go, both of them. So they create fire, and they're gonna move -1, range -1. So, but yeah, it's easily enough movement to just go over here, we'll say. This one just needs to move back 1, go over here. So first attack on the Brute, and then attack on the Cragheart. So these are attacking +1, so attack 6. Attack 6 on the Brute. Can we get a miss one time? And then attack 6 on the Cragheart. Alright. Asking you shall receive. Complaining always helps. That's the moral story here. And then the Earth Demons go, so they're going to consume Earth, but there's no Earth to consume. This one's just going to move. I'm sure this is the shortest path, yeah. And this one doesn't need to move. It's going to lose its muddle. So it makes an attack at -1. So an attack 3. Yeah, target all adjacent enemies matters not because it can't hit someone else in addition to her. So it's an attack 3 with disadvantage. Okay, so 2 damage. That's fine. But unfortunately, we are once again immobilized. Pretty cool. Cool. All right. So it was Earth and Flame. So next it's, oh God, the Spellweaver's so dead. Oh no, not the Spellweaver. Night and another Elite Wind, huh? What a joke. I mean, at this point, the Elite Wind, like I said, is not such a big deal with 2 turns left, but yeah. I guess that actually goes here because it can't go here, and this is the closest. So, well, I'm not even, I'm not even sure why I'm bothering to set the health on this one, just to be thorough. 14 health, okay. All right, so you're eliminated. Well, I guess we are just doing our thing here. I mean, we get to stun all these. Hopefully nothing goes early and steals our element. But yeah, this is great. This is our chance to finally get out of this terrible spot. And the Cragheart, what do? I guess a heal is definitely appreciated by anyone at this point. And I guess Massive Boulder is decent because it actually allows us to kill this Earth Demon. Fortunately, we don't have a good... No, we need to place a rock here this turn, no matter what. 38. I think that's early enough to beat the Earth Demons, any of their movement cards. I think that's safe. Which just allows us to get a more valuable bottom. Again, this heal 2 range 3 can be used on the Spellweaver or ourself. Either case is quite valuable. Alright, so what is the Brute doing? If only he had some self-healing or something. Or more ranged attacks. It sucks that we lost our other ranged attack. I don't really have anything to do. We need to stay up here so Hail doesn't get hit. I guess we're long resting. That's kind of crazy, right? But it's actually the best thing to do, I think, is just a long rest. It just heals us for 5 effectively by giving us this and this back, as well as the heal 2. And we're gonna have to lose some cards when we get attacked here anyway. We're gonna get disarmed. I mean, the point is that none of these actions really do anything. The move for stun one enemy is kind of valuable as a loss, although it's still just the same as losing the card. Provoking Roar Bottom doesn't really change anything, though. Except against multi-targets, because we're still closer than Hail, and we have lower initiative as well. I mean, I guess technically not if we long rest, but we're still closer, so it doesn't really change anything. It would only change something for a multi-target from any of these. But on multi-target, I mean, I don't even know that we can absorb that much damage. That'll just be too many cards lost anyway, and then we'll lose the scenario, so I think we can't really hedge against multiple multi-targets, although it is likely. But yeah, so basically, like, I think playing Provoking Roar's Bottom doesn't really change anything here. Next turn, we can gain Shield with Elemental Aid, maybe, so that might actually do something, but for now, I think it's better just a long rest. This is actually the best line. All right, let's go. Please be kind, enemies. So there's there's all the enemy types, yes. All right, here we go. So many things. All right, Wind Demons doing some stuff. They don't have Wind, though. Oh, that's multi-target. Flame Demons, well, they're going after us, so they won't have multi-target. Sun Demons, no sun, so also not multi-target. Okay, that's okay. And the Earth Demons are going after the rockets placed. You're doing some stuff that hopefully shouldn't matter. All right, so the Spellweaver goes first. She's going to begin, I guess no matter what. Well, I guess we can't move, so no reason not to heal ourselves. All right, so we'll heal for 3 then. 6. I guess this way, if we miss on the retaliate target, then we don't die. So yep, we heal 3 with Mana Bolt, and we're going to consume the Ice and Fire to make Cold Fire and attack 3, targeting all of these things. Can someone give me an order, please? We've got disadvantage attack on the Frost Demon 1, disadvantage attack on the Night Demon number 3, and then we've got Earth Demon number 3. So there's Ice, Night, and Earth. Give me an order. Actually, all 3 are disadvantage attacks, interestingly enough. And the order matters mostly. I mean, these two, the stun is all that really matters. Although damage on this kind of matters as well. Damage on this doesn't really matter at all. But more than anything, the Frost Demon absolutely, it just can't be a miss because it's an attack 3. So even -2 is fine. We just literally cannot draw the miss on the Frost Demon. Otherwise, we take 3 damage from the Retaliate, which is a really big deal. And we also just need that Frost Demon to die. So, anyone for an ordering, please. You've all seen what happens to me when I try to choose. I got 1 right. I'll never get any more for the rest of the scenario, that's for sure. Night, Earth, Frost. Thank you. All right, so all disadvantage attacks. So Night. Okay, so 3 on the Night. Earth. So 3 on the Earth. 4 on the Frost. All right, that's fine. So this is down to 2. This is down to 11. And this is dead. Okay, and then these two are stunned. And we're no longer immobilized. We might make it out after all. Well, at least her. Thank you very much, guys. Well, it worked out in the end. I'm happy with the outcome. All right, so the Frost Demon's eliminated. So next up we have the Wind Demon. So the Wind Demon is going to hit Hail. That sucks. But, no, she's still at full health now, so hopefully we'll be alright. I'll just have to spend some time healing her next turn, I guess. It's going to be tight. She's got one more turn to survive after this. We're all low health, and Hail's finally getting hit. Alright, so yeah, the Wind Demon just moves up there and attacks for 4. First on the Brute. Oh wait, no, it has to move more than that, right? No, yeah, it has to move to here. Or here. I guess these are ambiguous, so I guess here it's closer to its allies and further from the enemy since it's a ranged enemy. Sure, so moves to there, attacks the Brute, and then Hail with attack 4s. Jeez. A 5 on the Brute? Well, losing a card. Come on, man, their flips this scenario have been very good. So what are the types of cards we don't really care about at this point? Something like Balance Measure we definitely don't care about. Okay, and then on Hail. Jeez, come on! It's their entire deck thus far, too. Their flips have been... Alright, 6 damage on Hail, so she's down to 8. Of course, the Brute is disarmed. That's a big problem, actually. So now the Cragheart goes. So Cragheart's going to gain 1 experience and create an Earth. And drop some rocks. The Earth Demon actually only has 1 movement in the end. Oh well. Doesn't change much, so we're definitely placing a rock here. This blocks this path off. Now he has to go all the way around. Basically, it allows us to ignore him unless he does his ranged attack, which would be a big problem. Also does 2 damage to this, which probably doesn't matter, but we never know. Where else do we want the rocks then? I guess we can do like... Oh, no, we can never close this off completely anymore. Definitely not adjacent to the Spellweaver, though. Yeah, I mean, I guess doing something like this still makes sense, because then we can just kind of block the choke there with 1 person. Yeah, it works. Alright, so that does 2 damage. Oh, but if we place a rock, it actually kills the Earth Demon? If it does 2 damage to the Spellweaver. Is this dying being worth Spellweaver taking 2? Yeah, probably, actually. I mean, it's stunned now, but we still have to worry about it next turn, and we'd like to just be doing heals. Although at the same time, it shouldn't really be able to reach anyone next... Well, yeah, no, it actually is. I think that's actually correct. Come on. Come on. Alright. So that means that Spellweaver takes 2. This actually dies. Okay, and then we've got the bottom heal on Earth and Clod. So who needs it the most? I guess probably the Brute does. He's got so many attacks up there that he has to absorb. Yeah, sure. We'll heal the Brute for 2 then. He's also going to have probably the least cards, I think, right now. So yeah, because we have a heal 2 range 3. So, oh no, it's got to be Hail, right? Yeah. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, let's not be silly. Because then we can heal Hail for 4 next turn. At the same time, Spellweaver can heal for 5 next turn on Hail. Which is maybe just better, and then that's slightly more efficient, because then she'll only be missing 1. I think that's fine, actually. Oh, the Spellweaver actually can't, because the Spellweaver can't make it to Hail if we place the rocks like this. Yeah, we already did 2 damage to the Night Demon. Oh, no, we didn't. You're right. Good catch. I thought we did. Thank you. Oh, yeah, the Spellweaver can actually go here to heal Hail, so that's fine. I guess this makes our rock wall not doing much down here. Where are the enemy? What are enemies spawning next? So it was Night Demon and Wind Demon, so next is here and here anyway, so there's nothing more down here that we have to worry about. So Night Wind, so it's going to be Frost Sun, so there'll be a sun down here, but yeah, this changes nothing. The Frost up there does nothing thanks to the rock wall. Us going here doesn't change anything with that. Yeah, so this is fine actually. So yeah, let's heal the Brute then, not Hail. Yep. So yeah, we'll heal the Brute. Okay, so now the Night Demon goes, but is stunned. Now the Flame Demons go. It's going to be a bit painful. So this one will attack the Cragheart, this one will attack the Brute. Each of these are attack 5s. So the Brute's one was first, right? Yep. So 4 damage to the Brute, down to 3. And then on the Cragheart, well, we've got the helmet, so that's okay. So it's just a 5, down to 3 as well. All right, and those are all the Flame Demons. Then the Earth Demon goes. There's just that one up there. He has -1 move, which actually does allow him to move like this, and he creates an Earth, although we already have an Earth. Then the Sun Demon goes, and there's just 1, and it attacks the Brute. Just a normal attack, doesn't need to move because it's got range. Yeah. So Brute has to lose another card. Something like this doesn't really matter. Jeez. I mean, look at that. Like, come on. It's been all scenario. They did have a miss, but still. All right. And so that's that. We're done for this round. Brute does his long rest, heals for 2. Gets back a little bit of defensive items. To choose a card to lose. Guess we'll have to see what we want to do this coming turn for him. I mean, yeah, we're not disarmed anymore, actually. Playing, I mean, I guess Provoking Roar can disarm this now, which is good enough. At 10, it could still have gone before, but that doesn't change much. I can't move away from Hail up here. We have to stay up. Oh, sorry, we actually need to place the enemies. So like I said, there is a Frost Demon up here. Doesn't really matter much. And an Elite Sun Demon down here, which matters significantly more. All right. Fire's got a lot of cards to lose still, so she really should be in a position to tank hits. But unfortunately, that's just not possible because of this. So the Brute should always be playing Provoking Roar. So does the bottom matter so much? I guess the bottom's probably going to be something just like Unstoppable Charge. So one of these, I mean, neither of these cards, it really matters so much. Which one we lose, so sure. So probably something like this. Playing a move stun that doesn't, oh, but we can't, like I said, we can't go stun this. So actually, yeah, so we'd rather have Skirmishing Maneuver to make a ranged attack on bottom since we don't need to move. I don't know that it actually changes much. So we really do want to do this heal. I guess this heal also could work. Would allow us to put ourselves in a better position. We'd get a little bit less healing, but we can move more theoretically. So where are risk factors? I mean, like, where do the risks come from? All right, so we need a short rest on the Cragheart no matter what. The reason the Cragheart wants a short rest is because we'd rather have 5 cards in our hand than 6 cards in our discard, because 5 cards in our hand lets us block 5 sources of damage, whereas 6 cards in our discard lets us block 3 sources of damage. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm not paying life, basically, for anything at this point. All right, so let's see here. So where do the risks come from? So we know, no matter what, the biggest risk is multi-target, right? Yeah, that's the real threat to us, is multi-target. So for this reason, we need to have Hail as close to full as possible, ideally. And the Cragheart can heal her up to full himself, and at 29, which is actually kind of significant. I think this is a pretty good plan for him. The reason why 29 matters is because so there are, I mean, theoretically, any of these things can hit Hail, even Now this will always hit the brew, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this doesn't do multi-target ranged. This can do multi-target range, but at 29 will consume its earth, so it will attack the brood as well. So it won't do multi-target ranged either. This, I mean, technically all of the remaining things can do multi-target. I guess this Cragheart moving also makes it so that, yeah, that he can't actually, that this won't go here and hit both. There's a lot of ifs. Yeah, and that's a 1 in 3. But I guess we can just choose to move rather than use the heal. Going at 29 allows us to beat the 30 of the flame demons, and that's one of the multi-targets as well. And it just lets us play both our heals, which I think we can't do better than that. I mean, I guess a Dirt Tornado could maybe be better than that. Muddle all these things. That's interesting. Because all these things attack. I don't know if muddling, I mean, I guess it adds 3 curses as well. They have 2 curses in their deck right now. What about for the Spellweaver? What should she do? Definitely a top heal. The question is which one. This one allows us to use the earth, which is relevant. And go even a little bit earlier. Problem is, like I said, because of the Night Demon blocking us, we can't get into position. So in order to heal Hail with her, we would need to go here. But here, the problem with this is we don't actually take basically any attacks. I mean, we would take this as multi-target, but the Sun Demons can't do this can't do ranged multi-target. I guess it can do melee multi-target, but then I guess, yeah, by being here, no, it'll just go here and attack everything. By going here, then it'll hit here, the 2 of us here, rather than going down. That's actually kind of relevant, but then we can't heal her. So it does seem to me like the 2 extra healing from Elemental Aid is probably not worth having much less flexible movement. So accordingly, we should use Aid from the Ether as a heal. Would the bottom of Elemental Aid be more valuable than moving, though? If we don't have any way of getting wind, that's interesting. So what if we do this? The problem is the Wind Demon can consume the wind, but we can always see and just not create it. Because then this could actually be super valuable. Right? Oh no, but then we have terrible initiative if we do heal plus that. We could do, man, that's an interesting choice. We could short rest to get this back, but then we never have good enough initiative. I mean, we go after or before the 10, so we can't get the win created for us. This turn has a lot of questions. I mean, it's the last turn for the scenario, and if we succeed, we win. I think just moving and using the more flexible range heal is probably the best. The problem is the bottom here can be so valuable, but it's also either bad initiative or we don't then do a heal anymore. And I don't know that either of those is actually good. I mean, at the same time, doing 2 shield to everything can be good, but the problem is if we give up playing a heal, I guess if we play that, we can always worst case scenario. That's an interesting point. I guess we can do, yeah, this actually makes the most sense. All right. I mean, there are downsides to this, but basically by playing these 2, we're going to try to just use this to go early, but after this, but hopefully before most of the enemies, and then be able to use the bottom of Elemental Aid to give everyone, all our allies shield with the wind. And giving everyone shield with the wind should be more valuable than doing a heal here, I think. And if worst case scenario, like the wind gets consumed or the too many enemies went before, we can still move and do the heal like we wanted to, just the bigger heal on her, but giving us less flexibility for moving. So I think this actually works. I think this can be good either way. The initiative is unfortunate, but I think it's still the best route we have. So the Cragheart, should he still be doing these 2 things? Yeah, I think so as well. All right. Yeah, I think we've locked ourselves into a pretty, I mean, hopefully an alright plan here. Let's just hope for the best. There is technically a Frost Demon. Yeah, I guess they can make a range attack as well. Oh my god, you kidding me? But there's no Frost, so its range is 2. It doesn't hit anything. We might be able to later, we'll see. Not multi-target from the Sun Demon, not multi-target from the Flame Demon. Wind Demon's going invisible. Consuming wind, but at 9 doesn't matter so much. All right, it looks like we're mostly fine here, I think. We didn't get the multi-targets, so I don't think we lose here. All right, well, anyway, let's go through the motions. I mean, at this point, we can't change our plans regardless. So the Night Demon goes first. So the Spellweaver is actually earlier, so the Night Demon's going to move over here. Oh, wait a second. Wasn't there a special rule about targeting her? No. I thought that there's a scenario where no, it's the one with the crystal. Yeah. Okay. Oof. I was scared for a second that I'd forgotten a pretty important special rule here, but no, that doesn't exist here. Never mind. So yeah, she goes earlier. Both is one away. So yes, moves to here, makes an attack -1, so an attack 4 on the Spellweaver. All right, missed. Finally, nice. I mean, actually, of all the people, the Spellweaver is the one I'm happiest. I mean, I don't mind losing cards on because she doesn't really get to tank any attacks. Okay, so Night Demon's done. So the Wind Demon goes, has no wind to consume, is going to heal himself, but I believe he's at full anyway. I guess this disarm doesn't end up mattering. So it makes attack -1. So it doesn't move, so it's going to be a disadvantaged attack attacking the Brute, -1. So it's an attack 3, disarm on the Brute. The disarm means that we're not using Provoking Roar either, but that's okay. Yep. So no damage. And then Brute is disarmed. And that's the only Wind Demon, I believe. Yes. Did place, yeah, we placed Frost and Sun. Alright. So the Wind Demon's done. So now it's the Brute's turn. Alright, so now we've got to decide. Yeah, I guess it's still best to give shields. We don't want anyone to become exhausted if we can avoid it, so. Okay, so the Brute goes, can't do anything with the top action because he's disarmed, but is just going to move, do a move 3 jump, leaping cleave. Where do we want to? I think we just need to stay up here. Yeah. So basically just like doot, 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 but create wind. With the bottom of leaping cleave. Okay. So then the flame demon goes. Flame demons go. Yeah, unfortunately we're not gonna have the shield for the flame demon attacks. Is it actually even worth at that point? I mean, I guess it's just gonna be for the 2 sun demon attacks. Is that just more valuable than a heal? It's like effectively heal 4. Not really more valuable than a heal, but I mean, it doesn't change anything for what he does anyway. And we'll figure out her turn afterwards. All right, so the flame demons go. So the flame demons create fire, make attack 5s. Again, target Brute here, target Cragheart here, as usual. And there shouldn't be anything different. No. All right, Brute first. 4, 3, 2. And then Cragheart's 4. What's a card? Cards we lose here don't matter. It's the last turn. Okay, Flame Demons are done. Yeah. So now it's the Spellweaver's turn. I mean, I guess healing also gives us experience. And we can even heal the Brute. The Cragheart won't exhaust. I mean, the Brute shouldn't exhaust. Neither of them should exhaust. But yeah, healing gives experience. All right, we'll move with Flashing Burst. I guess just like this. I guess even if we go up here, it still goes into text there. I've made a mess. Oh, whatever. All right, we'll just move to here. We'll consume the earth, gain 1 experience, and do a heal 5, targeting the Brute. Again, nothing should be attacking heal to the best of my knowledge, so heal 5 on the Brute, putting him up to 8. And we're done. Then it's the Cragheart's turn. So the Cragheart is going to, I guess, just heal himself for 6 here. The Brute's at not 8 and is only attacking an attack 6 advantage, even if he has to lose a card, doesn't really matter. Yep. All right, so we'll just do heal 6 on the Cragheart, putting up to 9. And then being done, using, oh no, we should actually gain experience. Yeah, that's what's more interesting, because we can't actually lose here, I don't believe. Famous last words, but still. Yeah, so actually what we're going to do is we're going to, oh no, there's no earth to consume, but we still get 1 experience. Yeah. We'll gain 1 experience by doing an attack with Earthing Clod. I don't want to have to bother flipping. I'm just attacking the Night Demon and the Frost Demon at this range. I don't have the mobilize, just attack 2s. I'm not flipping because it really just doesn't matter. I can't kill them, and nothing I flip changes anything. And then I'm going to use the bottom, I guess, of Rumbling Advance, just as a, do I have a, no, I don't have a Hammer Potion. Just as a generic move 2, and I'm just going to stay in spot. Okay. So the Frost Demon has range 2 attack, but has how much movement? -1, so has 2 movement. Cannot get to attack anyone with its range 2 attack. Has no ice to increase its range, so it can't go this way, can't do anything here, so it does nothing. When the Sun Demons go, so this one's going to move to here, and this one stays here, so it's going to be attack on the Brood, attack on the Cragheart. They create Sun, and each attack is an attack 6 advantage. So first on the Brood, attack 6 advantage. So an 8. Technically, we actually survived that. So we got into 1. Aha! We could have lost another card, doesn't really matter. Alright, and then the one on the Cragheart. Oh, did I gain my 1 experience? I don't believe I did. No, I didn't do this part. Yep. This is why I did the range attack, was to get the last back of ammo charge, which gave me 1 XP. Okay, so then the attack on the Brute, attack 6 advantage. I mean, sorry, on the Cragheart. So it actually treats this as the better thing, but it doesn't matter either way. We gotta lose a card. Alright. No. No, it's not like that, Rock Slide. Never like that. Sorry, Kinetic Assault. Okay, so that's the 2 Sun Demons. Then the Earth Demon isn't making a range attack or anything. It's +1 movement, but makes it 3. Whew, and we did it. I'm not sure we could have survived one more turn. It was a close one. Yeah. All right. So let's tally up our winnings. So I'll do the rewards at the end. There's no experience. Yeah. Oh, 1 prosperity. That doesn't quite put us. Oh, it does put us to prosperity 3. Oh, we're gonna change the stream title. I did start the recording today, didn't I? Yes. Just want to make sure. All right. Let's gain our actual scenario-based stuff first. So all of us gained a check mark the first time in the history of this party, I believe. So we gained a check mark. We gained 8 plus here. Scenario level is going to be 5 actually. So it's 14. So we get 22 experience. Oh yeah, we did gain a level. Nice. We can't actually gain the level until we get back to town because we're going to have to do some enhancement immediately. So we'll do that after. Actually, how does that work? This is an interesting question, a rules question for anyone in chat who would like to answer. How is the interaction between this and leveling? Because typically you can only do enhancements when you're in town. So the idea is like, if you read like the conclusion and stuff, basically you go back to Gloomhaven with her, and then I presume it's there you do the enhancement. So does this mean that because it says immediately, can you not level up first? I guess because it has to be done in town. But I guess yeah, you just have to do your enhancements before being able to level up. I mean, this makes sense to me. Anyway, so we'll do the leveling up after we do the enhancement and the enhancing. It's a shame because actually the level 6 card we're going to get, Immobile Phalanx, would be a very nice candidate for enhancement. But, no, so be it. Alright, so we did that. We'll have to gain our check mark as well, but like I said, we'll do leveling up afterwards. Alright, over here, we gain 12, plus, again, like I said, it was 14. So 26. Level 6 as well. And we gain 2 check marks. Beautiful. And even the Spellweaver got a check mark. It's the first time for everything. We've broken the memes, but I don't mind. Alright, so Spellweaver gained a check mark, as well as gaining 20 experience. The only one not to level up, which kind of sucks because her level up is actually quite good. Oh, before players go back to town, that's interesting. That's not the way I would run her. I mean, like I said, it made sense to me that I wouldn't be able to do leveling up first anyway, because that is something I have to do in town, but, I mean, because that's not immediately, but I didn't expect this was actually before you went back to town, because the flavor of it doesn't really seem to be that. But yeah, I mean, mechanically it makes sense to put it that way. All right, so we need to do our enhancement. We're prosperity 3, so we're gonna get to do all the enhancement. That's nice. All right, this is now a prosperity 3 stream, so everyone here who is watching has been warned. I'll show the items and stuff like that afterwards. I'll cut the VOD and then start another VOD. We'll do this first, though. All right, But that's interesting because it allows us to do all the enhancements we want in the Spellweaver. But for now, we'll go backwards order. We'll do Spellweaver first. So as we've established, it's actually, so you said it is rounded down, correct, ECO? So it's actually 116 gold for Cold Fire. The costs. Oops. No, here we go. Yeah, it is rounded down in the example, so yeah, it makes sense. All right, yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a target to Cold Fire. So Cold Fire is 200 gold divided by the number of hexes currently targeted with the attack. So Cold Fire currently targets 3 hexes, so this means that we are at 66 gold for adding a new hex, plus we have 50 gold because it's a level 3 card. That's fair. I get that. No, what I meant by the flavor is more like that was something, help me up, I need to get back to Gloomhaven immediately. I may have many thoughts in my research. Feel free to come by at any time and I'll figure out some way to properly thank you. So like she says, feel free to come by at any time and I'll figure out some way to properly thank you. It seems like you come by and then she enhances your stuff by thanking you, right? Like that is the theme of the last paragraph of the scenario book here. So to me it seems like the enhancing does happen in town. Again, mechanically, I don't disagree. I understand exactly the reason for making it immediate and making it applied before you go back to town so that there's no, I mean, this way there's no ambiguity. But again, the flavor of it definitely seems to be otherwise. All right, so like I said, this is 66 plus 50, so this gives us 116 gold. So we get 100 gold there, so we need to spend 16 of our actual gold, which puts us down to 95. And the dream. Oh yes. Oh yeah, we have to mess with this, right? All right. Yeah, let's just use plus and minuses. Oops. Okay. Because the hexes for some reason don't want to be the right size. I think do we place it first? No, we can change the size first. Perfect. Actually, yeah, that's much nicer. Okay. So now we've got the dream cold fire. It's not perfectly lined up. Yeah, it needs to be moved up very slightly. Oh, too high. It's tough because there's the text thing which gets in the way. Yeah, that's good enough. That'll do. All right. And we're just gonna, while we're at it, do our last enhancement. So we do have Prosperity 3, so we can actually have another enhancement. Technically, we don't have to do this immediately, but just to save time. So this costs us 50 gold to put Strengthen on the bottom of Mana Bolt. Puts us down to 45 gold. Beautiful. We have the holy trifecta of Spellweaver enhancements now. Everything after this is pure luxury. These are the 3 you really, really, really want to have. I guess in the proper order like this. All right. So she's done. So while the Cragheart, we'll just get our 100 gold and then we immediately spend that on enhancing the bottom of Blunt Force with Strengthen as well. Our party's power is going to spike significantly with these enhancements. A lot more Strengthened attacks. Oh yeah, we've already got Strengthen up. Boom. All right. And then he has another enhancement to do as well. No, 39 gold, so we don't have... Yeah, actually we do. We want +1 move on the bottom of Rumbling Advance. Yeah, because we're a long ways away from getting to 4 prosperity, so we can't really go for... If we do Massive Boulder top, we're kind of limited afterwards, whereas if we do Rumbling Advance bottom, then we can still have Rumbling Advance top to do. So this is going to cost us 30 more gold, putting us down to 9. And we're going to do +1 move on the bottom of Rumbling Advance. Just makes this move damage ability, which is a solid ability, even later on, much more flexible. All right, beautiful. And I've got the Brute. This is the only one where I don't know immediately what I'm going to do, so we're going to see. So we have 240 gold maximum. And we can theoretically enhance 2 more cards now. Should we try the skewer build? I've never actually tried it, so it is possible that I should do it just to experiment. We can do like disarm here and then wound on the top here. Oof. Making the true spare dagger, the sparest of daggers. Never trample, can't be balance measure, definitely not eye for an eye. This is already enhanced. Fucking chain, I mean this top attack doesn't even get used that much. Yeah, the wound on here is still, I guess, a possible temptation. Oops. So there's this. Definitely not any of these cards. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't get level 6 before this. It would have been nice to be able to do something on Immovable Phalanx, actually, which is just our best top action. Alright, so it's always at least one of these cards. We've got 240 gold, so we can enhance 2. So if we put +1 move here, this costs 30 gold. Problem is, are we not too limited then? So let's say we do that now. That puts us down to 210 gold, and so putting +1 attack on the top of Skewer is not even that expensive, is it, right? It's just 100 gold, right? Yeah. But then at some point we can also get the extra hex on the top of Skewer, which is not bad. But then after that, we can't really do any more enhancements because we're not enhancing the top of Leaping Cleave if we do the bottom of Leaping Cleave to set up Skewer. Let's see. So how does that work then? So, like I said, this would be 130 gold now, which would put us down to 110. And then, so the top of Skewer to enhance with an additional hex is 100 gold plus 75, so 175. So we need 65 more gold. Yeah, that's not, I mean, that's a significant amount still. It doesn't seem like we would be stuck with enhancements then if we go that route. Otherwise, we can try to put something better on the top of on Skewer's attack. We can't put Disarm, unfortunately, which is obviously the dream. Because that'd be 300 gold, we only have 240, and we can't wait with this 100 gold. Could put Wound. This party doesn't have many sources of Wound, so that's kind of interesting. We also end up using it on high shield enemies a lot, and we're going to have more and more difficulty of dealing with high shield enemies. So that's tempting, and then this gives us higher plus side. I mean, it's just as good as +1 attack and probably better for our party because we really have no other sources of wound. We don't really use Flame Strike's top anymore, so it's just a better +1. Thinking. So this gives us for tops that we always want to use. Immovable Phalanx, Skewer, Balanced Measure, I guess are the things we're always wanting to use, basically. Maybe not even always Balanced Measure, and Unstoppable Charge. Yeah, I guess we slowly can phase out Balanced Measure then, theoretically. Alright, I guess I'm behind this. So 150 to do Wound, puts us at 180. So then the extra hex, like I said, it's 175. Yeah, that gives us more room to grow. I just don't know if I like the wound there so much. I mean, it's a multi-target source of wound. I guess that also makes it better even if I can't keep Leaping Cleave. Like, sometimes just to be able to do a 2-target wound attack is pretty valuable. So it makes it better when you don't have the +1. I mean, when you don't have the wind as well, even against shielded enemies. All right, I like that. Let's give that a try. So let's try this build because I have never done it before and people do seem to like it quite a bit. All right, so that's 30 gold there. And then here, multi-target, so 75 gold of wound, doubled is 150. So this puts us 180 total. And we had 240. This leaves us 60 gold. All right. Wound, where are you? There you are. Yeah. All right. That works. It does really make us regret that we didn't get the item from scenario 3, right? Now that we have this improved leave and cleave. Now that the number is there. All right. Anyway, that's that. So our enhancements are done. So now we actually do have to do our leveling up on just 2 people. So first on the brute, I suppose. So a perk. Yeah, I think the rolling stuns do make sense here over the 2+1s. I think it's close, but I prefer this. All right, so we'll get 1 rolling stun. Also with 2 target wound, the stuns get even better. Okay, and level 6 is not even close. We have kill 1 adjacent normal enemy with stun. I mean, yeah, all right, it's an execute, which works well with cold fire, right? It has some reason for existing in this party, I suppose, but you don't typically need to kill the cold fired enemies. You need to hit other targets, and the biggest problem is just mobile phalanx. This is a really, really good card for the brute. Allows the brute to be a better tank, and just the 17 initiative is really significant. So yeah, it's not very close. I mean, the bottom of Quietus is also fine. It's just free value. Yeah, mobile phalanx is just a really good card. Really, really good card for the brute. I mean, it's the best top non-lost top action the brute gets. So yeah, considering the initiative, obviously, or taking the initiative into account. I should say. And speaking of good cards, Cragheart gets Cataclysm. Finally, we get some big movement and a really nice loss AoE. This card's just super duper great, as opposed to Dig Pit, which is very thematic. All right, I guess I didn't really address that very much. So the problem with Dig Pit is, well, traps kind of suck. The way that the Cragheart can get people to move into traps is because he creates paths with the rocks, and then he can abuse enemy AI. But if you place a trap for them to walk through, many times you end up using like other traps and hazardous terrain, things like this in scenarios to help create your mazes. So you end up actually just forcing them to go through those, not necessarily even the trap you create. Also, yeah, 2 damage and stun as a top action is good at level 1, but like, all right. So for example, something like the Tinker has attack 1, range 3, stun at level 1, right? And by level 6, this is pretty close to attack 2 because of the modifiers. So that's a level 1 card, and that's guaranteed. Like this, you still have to do work to get it to activate. It just doesn't make sense to me that the numbers on this card just aren't right, basically, for the amount of effort you have to go through, the top at least. Again, outside of messing with monster AI, but you already have obstacles to do that. You don't really need a crappier top action. And the bottom, unconditional invisibility on a move, is quite powerful, but it's not really what the Cragheart needs. Supposedly, this helps a bit for the melee build, but even for the melee build, I think you want Cataclysm because, and I don't consider the melee build to be a very good build in general, but yeah, I mean, Cataclysm is just so much better, I think. So yeah, that's why Dig Pit is not the card. But again, it's kind of hilarious. All right, Cataclysm is a card. And then for modifiers, we're just going to add 1 more +2 in Muddle. Which is still, in my opinion, even though we've got the strengthen on the bottom of Blunt Force now, I still think these modifiers are better than taking this thing. Like, I still think this thing is not very good. It's just, it's more takeable now because we have that constant, I mean, the frequent source of strengthen, but I still prefer just to have these generically decent modifiers rather than, I mean, going for this. It's silly. So I'll still take the 2 of these, and then I'll eventually go for this as after the +1 immobilizes. All right. So there we go. That's it. I think there's nothing else we have to do in town. We'll have to do city event and stuff like that. But let me cut the recording real quick.